Welcome to the Fine Film Podcast. I'm your host, Sin Juric. That was interesting. What you've just heard is our other co-host, Sin Jalic. Welcome, and Nem Vucic.
How's it going, everybody? How you doing tonight?
Jalic, one more time.
There's a lot of cat hair on the mic, so
A lot of cat hairs.
Excuse me. I'm heavily allergic, so if we lose a co-host during the session, you know why.
There's a lot of cat hair in the air.
Yeah.
We don't really have anything for you this episode, but it's a new segment that we're calling Going Off Script, where we're just gonna have a discussion about some things in movies, other things non-movie related.
Just see where it all takes
and
us.
We're just gonna hang out, see what happens. You know, hope you
I
guys
want to
enjoy.
start the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
It's gonna be weird, but I think we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we can open it up with a bit of a discussion. The Oscars just happened.
Yes, they
Oscars
did.
2023. A lot of interesting wins.
Yeah,
A lot of it probably
justified.
justified.
I'd say 99% of it
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah,
One thing was the only thing that stood out that was kind of weird, but apart from that,
yeah. Well, the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of won. What was it? It's like I think it's seven Oscars.
I think it was 7.
We
Double-check
watched
that.
it and we thought that maybe it's going to beat the all-time.
Yeah, all-time record from Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the
but
Rings,
yeah,
but it
missed
didn't.
out by 4.
What was that? That was 11. I
11,
think.
yeah. 11 total wins. So
I'm finding this all out now.
yeah. So this is
What?
this is the kind of
Wait,
experts.
what's going on here?
This is the kind of experts we bring you on the Fine
Yeah.
Film Podcast.
Yeah.
What's a film?
Who's
What?
Oscar? Why are we talking about?
Who's this guy, Oscar?
No, I think he was.
You reckon it was pretty fair?
Look, I don't know. I find that Oscars recently, the criticism has been justified. I found them pretty boring recently, like
The
last
Oscar,
year,
yeah.
ceremonies and like the whole show. But I don't know. I kind of enjoyed this one. I thought with your usual, you're going to get some corny jokes, and I don't
Yeah.
know. Jimmy Kimmel was like
Jimmy
hit
Kimmel.
and miss.
I think it's copying a lot of hate for
That
some
was
of the things
weird.
he
I
did.
think I know he's copping heat because of how he approached the
The Nobel Prize winner.
yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Peace Prize
yeah, yeah, and like
What's
I don't know.
the deal there? Because he was just kind of corny and stupid.
Well,
or?
no, like yeah, this lady, yeah, her whole life is dedicated to, peace relief
Bringing
and like,
peace.
bringing peace to the
Bringing
world.
peace to the
And
world.
then yeah, he comes up to her and asks her like, "Oh, what did you think about Harry Styles spitting on
Yeah.
what's his name?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The guy that's in Wonder Woman, Chris Pine."
Chris Pine.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, what did you think about that?" And then she was like, "I'm just here to talk about peace." And I don't know, it was just
Yeah.
like that felt
kinda
so
awkward.
awkward.
Awkward and weird.
But then there was a couple of funny jokes in there, and no, but overall, we all watched it together. Apart
Yeah.
from
I hate Jimmy Kimmel.
I hate him.
I hate
I
him.
hate him
Here we
with
go.
a passion.
Here we go.
I hate Jimmy Kimmel.
No, it was in probably one of the better ceremonies. I think they brought all the what's it called? They presented all the awards again because weren't they doing like
Yeah, they were kind of
limited
like
amount of
nods.
present? Yeah, so
That's
not
right,
everybody
yeah.
was going up. They thought that people weren't interested in that. So I like that they've gone back to the old format. But
Keep it classic.
yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're ever going to get somebody who's going to, unless they get Ricky Gervais, that will make the Oscars. That's I think,
They
but
just
they
wouldn't
just
push for
can't go.
Ricky.
It's too much. So you can do that on the Emmys and the Golden Globes or wherever he was.
Golden Globes.
But
yeah.
the Oscars, you got to go more PC kind of guy, and Jimmy Kimmel was.
Yeah.
So overall,
They brought up like the whole, obviously, Will Smith slapping Chris
Yeah.
Rock last year, which was a big thing that happened. They kind of brought that into the Oscars as well,
they
made a few
did,
jokes
yeah.
about it.
He's been
like,
copping so much heat after
He
that
has, yeah.
Chris Rock special.
I don't know. Did you watch
Deserved,
that?
well deserved. No, I haven't watched the special.
It was
Like,
aired live on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you say? You just told the punchline at the start.
well, no, he pretty much
Was it throughout the
throughout the
special?
act, yeah, I don't know. He brought up the whole thing, how she cheated on him, and like, yeah, how,
Yeah. He's ripping into him.
yeah, like just ripping into him, talking about, yeah, that whole. It was brutal, and then Will Smith comes out, and I'm like, I'm sad and embarrassed by the comments. I'm like, you slapped the man
He's
on
going to
stage.
take it. He's going
You
to take
can't-
those
yeah,
comments.
you can't really
Yeah.
come out and be disappointed after you hit a man on stage for like the meekest comment,
Yeah, true.
and yeah, you slap him upside the head.
For sure.
And then I was listening. Yeah, it was listening to another podcast today. They brought that up, how they were just like, how like the entire crowd, even after that happened, when Will Smith won the Oscar,
Everyone was
they
celebrating.
gave him a standing ovation after he just like assaulted a man for practically nothing. Like, like
It's a bunch of shit.
you guys have said so much
Shit.
worse to me, and
It
I'm
was a
sure
bunch of
I've said
shit.
so much worse back to you.
Yeah, for sure.
If you slapped me, there'd be a solid fight. But yeah, and then he wins the award, and everybody's just like, oh.
I know. I think Rogan was
hero
talking
and
about
yeah,
it.
he was,
Yeah, saying like, oh, people in Hollywood are like the most fucked up people because like, they don't know like what to do or how to react. They're
How to
just,
react
like,
to...
going with like the flow, like
Yeah.
this shit happens, and they're like,
Yeah,
just, like,
and then they were
clapping
talking
for
about
him,
like,
like-
they were at the Vanity Fair like after party, and he's dancing,
he's
and everybody's dancing with him. And then he took the internet and the rest of the world to be like, that's messed up. Like, how you can't.
I
Yeah.
know.
Anyway, so I don't know. The Oscars have just recently been just like a shambles. I think they kind of brought it back. Hit and miss with the jokes. They always are, and it's always that you get those cringe moments where they try to make a joke and it's not funny, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
But the awards were great. I think. I can't say, apart from probably Jamie Lee Curtis's
Jamie Lee
win.
Curtis was an interesting one.
Yeah,
So she won Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of
I heard
thinking that it was going to be Angela Bassett
Yeah.
from Black Panther. But it's still at the same time, like I've heard other like kind of movie talk shows talk about it and saying like she still gave a really good performance.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't question that. She was good in her role. I just didn't think she was the best. And apart from that, I think everything else was pretty much spot on. Like I think I can't really complain with too much else, especially big boy Brendan Fraser coming up with the best actor. That
taking it away with The Whale.
almost
It was
cried,
great.
man. We held hands and we almost cried
We
together.
did. Challenge, what was your favorite movie, would you say, of the last year?
Hmm.
Some of the Oscar nominated ones were Everything Everywhere,
I enjoy that. a lot.
Avatar,
Avatar I
Fablemans,
didn't really enjoy too much. I thought it
Maverick,
was
Top
more of
Gun.
a. That was really good. I thought Avatar was more of a just to showcase 3D, and 3.5 hours is a bit too long for me.
Yeah,
First one was amazing because I felt
First
like
time David did it, yeah.
it was amazing. The story was amazing. The second was
Well, I think
The story, I guess, wasn't like
the story's like you're
Mm.
it's
super simple.
yeah.
Simple one.
It looked amazing. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. You've seen that story a million times told.
And I think I watched the 3D at a poor cinema. It was a small heritage cinema, so it wasn't that good. So it was very dark.
I don't know. I think 3D tech still has a long way to go.
Mm.
I don't know. They need to figure out a way to not dull color.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy 3D, because when I watched it in 3D. I didn't want to watch it in 3D. I ended up watching it in 2D.
It's tinted.
With like I think a classroom of kids behind me screaming and kicking my chair the entire fucking time. But yeah, it's darker. Like I take my son when I took the glasses
Mine
off.
was so dark.
And you're like, oh my god, like there's actual color to this
It's
movie.
beautiful,
It's not
yeah.
this, yeah.
Your
So
glasses really thick.
yeah, they were thick.
Mine were
and-
like proper goggles.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
really thick goggles.
They need to get around that to make it actually good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's still kind of
it
like
takes away so much
Yeah.
from like because that's what I think that's what Avatar was all about. Like the visual,
for sure.
the visuals was what's supposed to get
Saturation
you.
of the
Yeah.
brightness. Because I took my glasses off. I'm like,
Same,
this is really good. So
yeah.
I watched it for a bit, then I got a headache.
So, yeah.
He's trying to watch the 3D without the
Did you
glasses.
did you get the peripheral blurring? That's the other thing. Like you're only 3D on what you're focusing on. So when you're watching it like dead on, everything's straight, but like in your peripheral, you still see like
Yeah.
fuzziness, and
Mine-
then you look
mine
at
was
it, and
same.
then that's 3D. So you can't keep an eye on the entire screen. So they need to, I don't know. I think,
It doesn't work as well.
because they really haven't really pushed that technology since the first Avatar. Like there's
No,
been,
they had a good run. Like there was a few years there. Every movie was like 3D as well.
Yeah.
Like, and they were kind of filming for it.
but I think that people just lost the appeal because of that fact alone.
Takes you out of it, I think.
It
a
does,
little bit.
completely. I did not enjoy it. Like I'm looking forward to having to come out of my own like home theater setup and just watch it in 2D, because
You know what's it's really good in virtual reality. If you have like a Quest and you have like the goggles, it's really good.
What,
in that.
3D?
Yeah, 3D movies and that,
Oh.
because it's full color. Like it's not. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's no glasses
There's
in
no
between
glasses,
you and the
nothing like
screen.
that.
Yeah, and plus the dark cinema and everything. I don't know, it
cinema.
just completely took me out of the entire experience.
for sure.
What about IMAX?
It'll be the same thing. They'll
Same
still have
thing.
the same glasses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting. I wonder how it is like across the globe. Would that be exactly the same? Have like other like we're from Australia, obviously, and I don't know if maybe the cinemas weren't upgraded to be
I reckon it'll be the same.
same.
It'll be the
Yeah,
It's the same
I don't
technology,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless there's a country out there
Yeah.
that's got something
Something we don't know about,
something
yeah.
we don't know about.
Real 3D.
3D.
Yeah, the actors act live. That's technically a play.
Yeah, it's called a play.
Yeah, it's called a
idiot.
play. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You go to the
As I was
theater.
saying it, I'm
Hey,
like,
this is
oh,
real
no.
3D. So this is a play.
Quiet.
What?
It looks
Please.
so real.
I
Please
can
be
touch
quiet.
that guy. He's real.
It's a play,
Go up there and
you idiot.
slap him. Do the old Will Smith. Oh my god, this is so real. I can hit these guys.
Charlie, you watched Scream recently, the latest one.
Yes.
What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I haven't watched
have you watched like the lead ups to it? Because I think there's been like two
So
in
this
between.
is-
There's been one there was one last year as well. They
Yeah.
originally
There was
pumped
two-
it
They're
out.
literally pumping them out every single
they
week.
pumped him out. But I've seen the first 3, and then this one's coming out. Same as like Creed. I haven't seen the first 2 Creeds.
Yeah.
And I feel like Screams are one of those franchises that you don't need to see before
Everything,
the
yeah.
fifth, you know? So I didn't know the 2 lead girls, but you didn't need to watch them to enjoy the movie.
Oh, how do you know
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega? Isn't she one of the leads?
I think she is.
She's
Yeah.
everywhere right now. You
She's
don't know who
everywhere.
she
She's
is?
super
Wednesday?
hot right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, her.
Yeah, she's Wednesday,
She's
yeah.
20. She's young.
Mm.
The thing I liked about it was, 1, there's not many slashers out. 2, it wasn't just like a slasher where you're at home, like suspects are at home all the time, or people that are murdered are at home. It was outside, and they had there was one scene in a train station, which was really good. Other than that, it was like a lot of suspense, and it was really good. Like, it was good to see a movie that wasn't like demons or jump scares.
Yeah.
Or what's been coming out lately. So there's been no slashers in the
But
last.
slashers have been kind of making a comeback. Like Halloween's they've been pumping out a few Halloweens.
Sure.
And then there was like that whole, was it a trilogy on Netflix? And they're all like,
Yeah,
Years?
but
The old
different
school
years.
80s,
Yeah.
90s, yeah.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
I haven't watched the other podcast friend Dane said he really enjoyed them. So I think they're making a little bit of a resurgence. I think it's everything's cyclical. Like you just got to, same as 3D. 3D was in and then he was out, and then Avatar 2 comes out and it's back in. Same as slashers. I think people lost a lot of. Yeah, there was so many being pumped out in the early to mid 2000s, and then they just kind of died off, and now they're kind of making a return. So
Yeah, I think slashers and psychological horrors as well.
there's just not that many good psychological
Smile was
horrors,
really
man.
good.
Smile was good,
Smile
but
was really good.
I classify that more of a horror than a psychological.
Yeah,
That was more horror.
It was psychological. in a
Like
way,
I want
though.
more sevens. I want more like prisoners. I want more like that dark
David Fincher style.
Fincher, dark sort of atmospheric. I don't know. I just found like every single time me and my wife are doing a movie night, I just go IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes and like psychological thrillers and just trying to find a gem because I don't know, they're just
something fucked up.
It's so hard to find, like something like season 1 of of True Detective or just something like that where it's just really uneasy. Even like Mindhunters, that was like a brilliant show. Something of that ilk. It's just I don't know.
That got cancelled.
I know.
Season 3 is not going to happen.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah,
You should have just at least finished it.
It was really good.
But but I think slashers are coming back. I just want psychological thrillers. I want.
Do you think they're pushing it with like the Scream franchise? Because obviously, like, what's this, like the
Sixth.
Sixth?
Sixth.
I think it's the 6th.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. It is. 5th came out last year. Like,
and they had all the old cast. And
they
current cast.
showed up again. Yeah.
There you go.
It's kind of like
I
taking
think
that.
it is the last one. I
Yeah.
assume it's the last one. I'm not going to give anything away, but I feel like it's going to be the last one. But you never know.
Spoiler
Like-
alert over here.
Like Fast
Let me
and
guess.
Furious.
Scream face dies.
Let me guess,
Face.
everyone dies. No.
I have if it's the last one.
Like Fast and Furious is on 11 now, isn't it?
It's insane.
It's on 11.
It's insane.
But that's just the money
Cash grab.
cash grab. Yeah.
People are still watching it. I think it was
How do you
like-
not bring it out
it was
when every
number
single
5.
year
It
it's
was number 4 or 5. We were like, I was going to watch this.
No, it was
Yeah.
3. I think after.
No,
Tokyo Drift
Tokyo
was,
Drift?
was interesting.
Number 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then Paul Walker died number 4.
No, he didn't. No. Paul Walker died.
Later on. I think
Later
it was like
on.
5.
6, 7, I reckon, man. Because
No,
I reckon
watch up to
he pumped
6,
out, I
7.
reckon 4, 5. or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
I-
Because they brought him back
yeah.
and then they pumped out those movies.
Wow.
Yeah, but it feels like it was because there's 11
Yeah.
films, dude. It's been running for so long, They just keep doing it. It keeps
Yeah.
getting more ridiculous.
It's
from
more
I
year to
literally
year.
thought, like, even though
I thought he died in number 5 or 4.
5 of the series 6 movies.
Yeah.
So I think
Wow.
not counting Tokyo Drift because he wasn't in that. I think he was in all the other ones.
Yeah,
So he would have been So after 6.
insane.
Whoa.
I know.
We watched
But-
it in the cinemas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Tokyo Drift was like, I know they ended it with
yeah.
Dom Toretto coming back, but I thought that was just like a fan service,
Mm,
and then that just ballooned out to be. Oh my god, man, I can't. I haven't watched.
yeah.
I haven't watched since.
Since that one,
Yeah,
since Paul
since
Walker died, I
Top-
haven't watched
yeah.
any.
I haven't even
I
watched
haven't
up until that.
I'm ashamed to admit that I have seen all of
All
them.
of them.
You have.
Yeah,
You don't have to
just
be ashamed.
because
The rest of the world agrees
I
with
know
you.
everyone agrees with me. But it just keeps getting more ridiculous. Like Dom Toretto is
Because
just
that's just what they're doing.
superhuman powers. Like he's ripping off like shit, like that a human can't.
He's
like,
ripping off bonnets off cars. You're like, that's insane.
yeah, like he's,
Remember when
he's lifting a car.
When he stomped the car park into the ground?
Dude, what the
There was
hell?
a scene literally like they're on the top. Who was he fighting? Jason Statham's character or something? I haven't
Something
seen
like
it.
that, or
I
The
just saw
Rock
the
or
meme.
something.
Or The Rock, yeah. And he just goes like he literally just like stomps his leg and the whole like car park just
Yeah,
like
like who the fuck is he? The Hulk? Like,
It's like
It's just
borderline Bollywood.
yeah, it's getting crazier
it's
and
getting
crazier.
insane.
So I think that's why people are like I appreciate what they're doing. I can't do it
Yeah.
anymore. Like I have a very
I
low
know.
tolerance when movies get past. Like I haven't seen any of the new Screams, any of the new Halloweens.
I know.
Once you get past a certain stage, I'm like I'm just over it.
You just want to see something new. Like it's
Oh,
that whole
man,
like
tell me
Tropic
about
Thunder
it.
thing at the opening when he's like part 1,
Yeah,
part 2,
it's
part 3, part 4. And it's like and like Fast and Furious. Like what was the recent one? Was like now they're in space.
Yeah.
They're literally flying a car in space.
It's
It's like what? Where's this going?
It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
fucking
getting
insane.
crazier and crazier. But I do like the fact that they've just gone like balls deep with it and just been like, whatever. Like we're gonna be in space.
People are
And I
buying it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, the fact
They're pushing the envelope. They don't give a fuck.
and they don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. And people go into it, know what they're getting, and everybody it's a good time. Like
It
I'm
is,
not
yeah.
shitting on it. I don't think they're shit movies. I just can't be bothered with them.
It
Which
is
is
a
why
fun
I'm like
time.
with you, like it's just fun to go watch like and
Yeah. It
most
is.
of the laughs come from talking to your mates after and being like, what the fuck? Just
It's fun to rip on how ridiculous it is.
It
and that's
is,
kind of
for
like
sure.
part of the appeal, probably.
and that's why people go to watch it like, what next?
yeah.
What are they gonna do
I
next?
know.
I'm honestly like predicting like a prehistoric, like
They
they build a time
travel
machine and
back.
and now they're gonna drive around dinosaurs
Against
and
the
shit.
Flintstones. You want to race me? Yabba dabba doo.
Dom Toretto
Yeah.
versus the Flintstones.
He's got Freddie Flintstone. They're like punching on. They're in space. There's
It's about
dinosaurs everywhere.
family.
I honestly would not be surprised if they went. If they went to
It's one
like,
family versus the other
One
family.
family
versus
the
Flintstones
family.
versus
if they
the
went to
other.
When the
prehistoric
Jetsons come in.
times, I would. That's when I'm checking back in. That's when I'm back in.
It's so ridiculous.
But you're right though. Like it's just I don't know. There's just so many remakes,
Mm.
and there is a bunch of like.
Yeah, you want
It's the same as
something
music
new.
as well. People
Yeah.
are remixing remixes.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What's
just like.
that
It's
recent one that
insane.
you absolutely hate? I think you mentioned
Oh,
it.
it's the I'm Blue, but the
Yeah.
David Guetta remix.
Yeah.
I'm feeling alright. Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know, well, but it's to bring it to a new generation, I guess.
The generation now does
Yeah.
not know that song. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to buy the rights and
Yeah.
just put some random vocals over it.
True. But to be fair,
Because it's a tried and tested product. Like,
It
okay,
works.
beat works, everything works. Now
Mm.
just flip a beat, buy the rights, and release it
It
to the
works.
new generation.
Yeah.
And now they're all singing the
to be
nice
fair
ones.
though, when we were growing up, like let's say the early 2000s, we had heaps of like remix kind of techno dancey songs that were like they had original songs in the past.
Yeah, but that's
you know what I mean?
that's different because it wasn't like a brand new song. Like it wasn't new lyrics to the same beat. Like it
Yeah.
was like a song you know,
Sure.
and you hear it in a new way.
Yeah,
Whereas this is
yeah.
like they rewrite the lyrics, they
Yeah.
go to like a whole nother
Rewriting the
level.
lyrics is fucking annoying.
Yeah, I just like I don't know if you're gonna do it, just keep the lyrics in that way. I guess you appease everybody. I just don't like the lyrics in them. I
True.
don't know. But again, it's a tried and tested product. You know it works, and it's an easy just like here you go and there you go. You just make your millions.
moneymaker, get it out there.
Exactly.
Did you guys hear about Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, last movie.
Last movie. He said he's written his final
Yeah.
film. Challenge is news to you. And I'm-
This is news
you're
to me.
dropping
Quentin
it. Who the
Tarantino?
fuck is Quentin, dude?
Who's Quentin Tarantino?
Yes, he's written his last film. It's called The Movie Critic.
Yeah.
And he's
Because
getting.
he said
getting
that his
ready
whole
for it.
career, he was going to do 10
Homage.
and call it quits.
Yeah, I call bullshit. I don't think he's gonna finish with this final 10th film.
You reckon?
I reckon he's too young to give it up and walk away for the rest of his life. What do you think?
I don't know. I guess yeah, his resolve's going to be tested. Like he's made 10 brilliant movies. Like I
Yeah.
don't really think there's a
I mean, he
kind of drop off in his.
wants to do
his
that. Like that's
filmography.
his idea. Like he wants to be unique and do something different. So it's like I'm gonna drop 10 films that are all really good, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna walk away, and I'm gonna be this director. That's
Well, it's like that.
made 10
It's like the
sick
saying.
films.
It's like, would you rather die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? Like if he does 10 and he has the perfect filmography, and you go through and you can watch any one of those movies, and then he retires at that. Then like he probably goes down. Like what else does he need to do? Like what else does he
Yeah.
have to prove? How much more money can he make? And I don't think he's going to be out of the movie industry. I don't think he's going to just stop everything altogether.
Everything.
He's going to write movies. I think he's going to
Do
sell
other
scripts.
stuff.
He's going to produce. He's going to be a part of. He's going to probably bring up a new generation, maybe somebody that he knows or like gets along with. And I highly doubt this is going to be his last involvement in film. But I can see him being like, I'm going to take a complete step back, and that's it. Call it a 10. Yeah.
But what about 15 perfect films? What if he does that?
Well,
there's always a chance.
One guy like, do one more.
Yeah.
Do one more.
Do it.
You think you're the best? Do one more.
Do one more then.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the right way to do it, but whether he's gonna do it or not, I don't know. Because he writes books as well. Like
that's what he said. I think he wants to like get into like writing more books and things like that.
Try something else. You've literally mastered filmmaking.
Yeah.
And if you want to watch Quentin Tarantino movies, like I just recently went back and watched The Hateful Eight. It's brilliant. I haven't seen it in a few years. It's brilliant. So the rewatchability of all those movies is still extremely high.
You can keep going back to it. Yeah.
So it's those movies are something that I'm going to be going back to for the rest of my life. And even if he doesn't bring out a new movie, I'm definitely going to be watching Quentin Tarantino's for the remainder.
Again a few weeks ago.
Django.
So
Yeah.
Bastards is so good.
What's your favorite, do you think?
Oh, Pulp Fiction.
Really?
Yeah. Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. I don't
I
know
like
why.
that.
Just like it feels like
it's a brilliant movie. That's
like a
why.
cult classic.
Oh, it's considered one of the best
movies of all time. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Who's Quentin, man?
Who's Quentin Tarantino?
Shut your
Left the
mouth.
field suggestion here. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, anyone?
Top 10 probably movies of all
You
time.
guys see it?
You guys
Have you
heard about
watched
this
it before?
movie? It's supposed to be pretty good.
I love it, I think. I think Inglourious probably for me.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Just comes together so well. The cast.
The opening scene is ridiculous, man.
It's pretty great.
It's a ridiculous opening scene.
I don't know.
What's yours?
I'd have to give it to Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
I love Reservoir Dogs. I just love the entire concept. I thought it
Mr.
was
Pink?
the whole thing about it, I just thought was like so brilliant, and like with minimal amounts of anything really, guys in a warehouse to tell a story that deep was just brilliant, and that's why I'd rate it. Like there's really not much more.
It works well.
I think that's like a great like judgment for somebody who makes movies. Like here's like the bare minimum. Can you make a compelling story out of this? Sure. And he did, and he does it all through the way he writes. And the script is brilliant. That's what keeps you involved the entire from start to finish.
Genius what he did with it because it was his first film and stuff like
that.
that. So
no, I agree, and I think imagine coming out with Reservoir Dogs as your first on the thing, and then. Like you guys said, then Pulp Fiction comes out. That's your favorite movie. Inglourious Basterds. So we're in like 3 generations of like Quentin Tarantino, and we all have a movie, a favorite movie from each different thing
that we love.
That we all enjoy. So that's just a testament to how good he is, and I just don't think he needs to continue.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure like you want him to continue though. Why would you want him to stop though?
Look, I trust the man's judgment. He hasn't let me down. He hasn't let me down, and I don't think he will. If he calls it a 10, I'll just be like, well, that's what he wanted to do, and I'll completely respect it. And I'm definitely going to be in for that 10th movie. And
imagine he did a sci-fi. I think he was once attached to do maybe like a Star Wars film or something.
Wow, where do you go with that?
Yeah,
I can't.
It would have been interesting if you broke into that, because a lot of like, if you look at like Spielberg, right, or you look at like all these other like Nolan and stuff like that, they've all done every single genre, and makes them probably like the greatest director of all time. Like Spielberg, for example, like he's done it all. So like if he wants to top that as well, I feel like he should have broke into that.
I don't think he needs to.
Probably doesn't need to, but it would have been interesting if he did. If you took
of course it would be interesting. It would be like anything else. It would be just the same as like, oh, I'd love to see if David Guetta brought out a country album. Like,
God damn you, David Guetta.
You know what I mean? Like, if he brought out a country album, I'd love to see it. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's like something that works to his strengths. And I think if he did do anything like that, it'll be highly stylized and probably of an era, kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it'll be more like it'll look more like early Star Wars than new Star Wars, because I don't think he's really into any of that, like, crazy I don't know, stuff, crazy new CGI and all that sort of stuff. He just it's just him and a camera and the actors and a great script, and off you go and just make a movie.
He does love the new like blockbusters and stuff. He does watch all of it.
He watches all of it.
Some of the others don't. Some of the other directors.
And I think that's why he worked as well. Like it's something different, and he's not in the mainstream in that sense. Like he's not bringing out like he's not attached to like a new Star Wars or a new Fast and the Furious or anything like that.
Sure.
He's got like a set plan that
Quentin's
he's
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, that would
take.
be. I reckon that would be the best out of the bunch, especially
would
after
be
what was the
sick.
one? Was it Roadkill? Did he do? No, what was the one name with the cars and the
Death Proof.
Death
Yeah,
Proof?
Death Proof,
That's the
yeah.
one. Yeah,
That's the one that everyone kind of goes like, oh, it's probably not his
I loved it.
best. But I actually,
I
yeah,
thought he was
I like it
great.
a lot. Yeah.
Because again, he was I don't know. He was just redoing a genre that was like big
Death
in the
Proof. I
past.
see it now. Fast
Yeah.
and Furious Death,
Death
Proof.
Proof.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I
Like
like that.
I don't know. So if he did do anything
Mm.
like that, I just don't see why. I
Yeah.
don't really have a need for more sci-fi. Would I like to see how he does it? Yes, but that's a huge risk again, and that's bringing that like legacy
True.
to
And with everything that's like oversaturated at the moment with like superhero films and everything like
Yeah.
that, you kind of don't want
like,
it,
his
right?
originals is what you want.
True.
That's why people get excited about like a
Mm.
Quentin Tarantino film because it's
Yeah.
not gonna. It's gonna be something left of center.
Are you
We
sick
said
of-
it. Literally, you said it about Avatar like 5 minutes ago. We've seen that movie 1,000 times. Now it just looks better because of
It's
like the new
repackaged.
CGI.
It's repackaged.
Yeah.
You're
Are
just
you
like,
sick
okay,
of
it's the same thing.
the Marvel films and the superhero films as well?
Oh man, I've seen the Avengers and a few of my main ones of Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man and a few like the Hulks and all that.
Yeah.
But the rest, like
Endgame was my last.
Yeah.
it was ridiculous, man. Like I saw, I think someone had like a picture of everything just lined up, and it was like 100 movies.
Mm.
I'm not paying.
100
watch.
movies, shows, and
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. They got
So
spin-off
many.
shows and movies and spin-offs for
Mm.
spin-offs and that.
But yeah, and then now you have to
It's
watch
a
a
lot.
show to watch the movie. If you don't watch, like, if you didn't watch One Division,
No,
you don't know what's going on in
You miss out.
what's called the Multiverse of Madness, and it's just I don't know. I
It's
just
like a Marvel IV.
I'm so over it.
IV Marvel plugged in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just so over anything
Yeah.
to do with Marvel.
Originals, fucking yeah. That's where it's at. I think we need more of it.
Just came out Ant-Man, some quantum.
Yeah, Quantumania.
Yeah.
Quantum something.
Quantum.
physics.
Quantum physics. I enjoyed the first Ant-Man. I really enjoyed it, but I'm not
The
gonna.
first
watch
one
the
was
second
good. Yeah.
Look, up until Endgame,
Mm.
I loved every single one, and I was excited for every single one. And then I thought after Endgame, I don't know, there was going to be something maybe a little bit. I don't know. They just went down the same path with a new fucking what is it? What do they call them now? It's a new era or saga or what?
Yeah, next phase
Next
or whatever.
phase,
The
that's
next
it.
phase.
How
of,
much
yeah.
of a cash grab?
Mm.
What?
But that-
Like,
I
know.
Avengers made.
But that's
I
why
know.
we've got
Endgame
15.
made so much
That's why
money.
we've got 15 Fast and the Furious because
Yeah.
people love that shit.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I'm at that point. I'm so done, like so done with anything to do.
Done with
Marvel.
it.
Finished.
You watched Creed 3 recently.
I did, yeah.
And you're saying how fucking jacked
It's
both of them
insane.
were.
It's. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen like a
My
trailer
God,
for
I
it?
saw it.
Yeah.
Lord.
Jake Gyllenhaal is filming for
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
Roadhouse,
the UFC.
He's jacked.
He's
You
jacked,
haven't
man.
seen MBJ and what's the other guy's name? I always blank.
Yeah, he played
He played Kang in.
Kang in,
Because how old is he? Because Gyllenhaal will be like 46, 47.
yeah,
he's
he'll be up
shredded.
there for sure.
He's shredded.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. My God, like it was
He's
insane.
huge.
Like I don't know. So my wife has never seen any of the
Creed
Creeds.
films, yeah.
So I don't know. There's really nothing in movies right now. So apart from Creed, and I've seen them both. So I decided to like rewatch him Thursday, Friday, and then we went to watch Creed Sunday. And like you just see the progression of MBJ, like pretty ripped and big,
Yeah,
to
it wasn't as big in the
slightly
first
bigger,
one,
and
yeah.
then 3, he's just
Superhero.
a
Jacked.
monster, man. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. Like God, and then Majors comes out, and then
He's huge.
shredded,
Huge.
man.
Challenge, give us an insider perspective of
I haven't,
how these men got there.
I haven't seen.
Put him up. Put
I'm
it up
sure-
on the
I'm
TV.
sure
yeah,
you've seen-
find it up on the
I'm
TV.
sure you've seen
It's quarter
some
time in the footy, so
like photos and things
No,
like
'cause
that
I've-
of these
I've
guys.
seen Jake Gyllenhaal, and I know
Mm-mm.
Gyllenhaal's like 40.
But that's but that's just like I think that's like a natural kind of like you can
Mm.
get dude. Just wait till you see MBJ.
Yeah,
and,
I
He's
think no, I
fucking
think, I think
huge,
they're
dude.
all on a different dose of something.
oh man,
For sure.
Because Gyllenhaal is, at that age to gain that much lean muscle mass, you'd be on some kind of like Anavar or some kind of dose of something.
You just can't get that, right? You can't get that fucking huge.
To get that big,
Yeah,
and,
that quick
let's
as
say,
well.
Let's say I offered you a movie for even 2 years.
Yeah.
It's going to take you much more than 2 years to get that big. Man.
it's
insane.
crazy.
Like,
It's insane. Look at MJB.
MJ Bay.
MJ Bay,
Yeah, he should be Bay at the end. Yeah, because
MG Bay.
he is
dude.
Bay.
He's
Um,
huge.
It was crazy. It was just insane to see. Massive.
But like Majors is bigger than him. Like he's a beast in this fucking film. And like
look,
to get there,
but like again, so I guess I can't say too much about Gyllenhaal, but Michael B. Jordan's been jacked his whole life.
No, he has.
It's not
He
like
has.
he went like lean and then he's like, I'll do Creed 3 and then he's jacked. So like he's
He looks-
starting at a baseline that's I think
Yeah.
higher than your average person, which I think we were talking about it before. I think you're kind of locked into a certain kind of role when you're that big, don't you reckon?
Yeah, we're saying like,
You're not going to play a drama.
yeah, well, he did, right?
Yeah, he
So-
played Just Mercy, and I watched that
Mm.
movie, and it's just preposterous to think that there's like a lawyer that jacked.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't buy it.
Like he's standing there in his suit, like barely hanging on. Like
Dude, he's fucking
That's why The Rock
big.
plays The Rock and everything.
I know. Well, you're not gonna have The Rock playing like
at that.
this sweet lawyer.
You know what? It looks very
Huge.
natural though.
You reckon?
Yeah, that looks natural.
Yeah, Majors. I think it is, but they don't really show. Just go like images because they don't really. This is just the trailer, so it's just kind of like zooming past it.
Because they look, it looks natural.
That guy's that. Yeah, that's.
He's pretty big, man.
Like I think they'd have to be even on some like you can have oral supplements or oral tablets like Anavar and stuff like that, which will make you a little bit shredded. But they seem very natural.
No.
Natural.
They're not ones that I would say.
But Gyllenhaal, you should look up Gyllenhaal next. He doesn't look natural
He's huge.
because he was never big. He was always a lean guy. But never
Nah,
had-
he was pretty. He was always pretty like muscular. Like
Well,
if you go
in
back to like
Jarhead,
the
he was a-
Spider-Man movies, like Spider-Man was like 3-4 years ago. He had like a bit of size to him
a
then.
little bit of size, but
Mm.
now
He
he's just
doesn't,
like,
but he didn't like. I didn't see him and go, "Holy shit!" I just kind of went like, "Okay, he's ripped."
yeah, still. We'll look at him now.
It's huge.
He's pretty big, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I don't.
You have to also account his age.
Yeah,
Like he must be
Mm.
40.
I'd say early
Seven.
40s, 42, 43.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'll check.
God damn.
He's
God
surely,
damn.
he's surely
It's
gonna be
huge. But Gyllenhaal's more kind of ripped, right? Like,
Yeah, that's what I
he's-
mean.
That's a different look.
Oh, he's
for...
big as well. From
You
what I
reckon?
saw, so I actually saw only one picture. but,
42. Called it.
42.
Smack bang on. Don't mess with me, man.
Sorry, bro.
Oh boy, it's pretty big, man. But you know what? Majors was like,
No. Majors, I have no. I think
looked pretty
he's-
good
Yeah,
before.
he was even when he was in that show.
take your top off, Majors. God damn
He's
it.
got good genetics as well.
Yeah, he definitely does.
All right, but my question is a natural?
You know what? With like African Americans, it's very different because their genetics are much stronger in terms of like lean tissue mass.
Mm,
But at the same time, it depends on his age as well.
yeah,
It depends on
He's
his
young.
age.
he's pretty young.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he'll
looks
be in like
he's
mid
30s.
20s. No.
He looks a bit
Mm.
older. That's the thing as well.
That's
Sometimes
Lovecraft. Was it called Lovecraft? That show that he was in?
Lovecraft that he was on HBO.
He was
Yeah.
pretty big in that as well.
Yeah.
he's pretty ripped.
He's 33.
Look,
Really?
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say in his 30s. Look,
Because when did Lovecraft come out?
a while ago. I think it was like 3 years ago or something like that.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I thought he was like mid 20s when Lovecraft.
I'm just gonna say every single person that has a decent rig in a movie is on something. Is on
Yeah,
something.
it's show business. It's a
on
business.
something. Yeah. Say you're given a role, and you're given a year to prepare for that role.
Mm,
You're gonna do the quick fix.
yeah.
You know. It's like
Yeah,
that.
But look, honestly, I like MBJ and Majors. Just seeing how MBJ was prior, and like I said, he played a lawyer, and he was like ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
So like he's always been big. So I don't think
I don't
I
buy
think
it.
they could maintain that. And again, with hard work, and his whole life he was like that. It wasn't like he was skinny, and then Creed 1 comes out and he's jacked, and you're like, well, where'd that come from?
Mm.
And same as Majors. It's more like the I can't even say that word. Preposterously big boys like your what's his name? Chris Hemsworth and like The Rock.
Yeah.
They're the ones where you're just like that. Well, that's insanely big. Like
They're
you,
huge,
you
yeah.
don't really get like genetics play a part, but at a certain point.
You can't, yeah.
It's different now. There's so many things. There's SARMs, there's peptides, there's things that are legal that aren't for humans.
Well, everything's legal for them. They're not. It's not a performance enhancing drug. You know what I mean? Like they can do whatever they want to get to the
Well,
size
for the
that they
role,
need to get
of course.
into. Yeah.
What do you mean it's not for humans?
Well, peptides and SARMs are like lab-made
Mm,
steroids, but not used for humans.
yeah.
So they're not at the same dose as like a test.
Yeah.
Like grows natural in the body. So what they do is like you inject this and it changes the receptors in your body to make it give you like more growth hormone or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. So that's why kids now that are like 16, 17 are just trying out SARMs. You can order it online
yeah. Mm.
and just inject them at a young age.
Yeah.
But I'd just go for test if I was.
If it was up to
What
me,
would you
If it was
go
up to
for?
me.
if it was up to me, I'll be a testy boy.
Testy boy for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying they looked so big, but them two, I believe, because again, MBJ has looked like that his whole life.
Mm.
But yeah, bringing it back to that, I just think he's kind of locked into a certain role because it just doesn't look natural for him to be anything else.
Because
There's no
limited,
need to
yeah.
For
be
him to
that.
lose that muscle will take him so long.
Yeah.
Mm.
And why would he want to lose that muscle?
It limits you really to like what you can do.
Yeah, like it just takes you out of the movie. Yeah, if you guys watch Just Mercy, good movie, and he was good in it.
He was
like,
good in it.
again, it was no, but it just I don't know, it just feels off.
Yeah.
when you see
There's just something
lawyer.
off about
He
it.
worked with Arnold in Kindergarten Cop because it was just funny.
Yeah.
He was so big.
yeah.
It just hit each
Kindergarten
other,
But
Cop.
that's what
it
was
just
funny.
worked.
Yeah, that's literally what was funny. The fact that a kindergarten, but he played like some kind of like special forces cop,
Yeah.
and so it made sense for him, but it makes no sense for a lawyer to be in a, like a serious drama.
That fucking jacked.
Yeah, to just be absolutely ripped. But yeah,
Have you guys watched The Last of Us?
Yes.
Did you finish it?
I love it. Finish the whole thing. Yeah.
It was good, huh?
Mm.
What did you think of the last episode? Maybe we won't say spoilers, just in case everyone
I
watched
didn't
it.
think. I was assuming that season 1 wouldn't be.
You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna say spoilers, all right? This is
Spoiler alert, yeah.
alert
Spoiler
for
alert.
The
and then
Last of
maybe
Us.
you can edit a time when it ends
I'm
at the
not trying,
bottom.
Yeah, we
I'm not trying
will.
to spoil what happens, but
We'll put a little.
Just talk about it
disclaimer.
now.
Yeah.
We can
I
fast
didn't
forward
think
it.
There's no point,
The
yeah.
last episode was
Yeah.
going to be the end of the first game.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is though?
Yeah,
Because I can't remember.
It's
like,
scene by scene. Like
yeah,
it's scene by scene.
But I
Fuck,
thought
yeah.
I thought they were missing a little bit of a chunk, so maybe this would be almost the end of the last game, and then
Yeah.
season 2 would be like continuing that.
Mm.
So it's, next season is pretty much second.
Yeah.
game.
Well, no. So I actually read about this. There's an article that came out. They're going to extend the next game
Mhm.
to go over multiple seasons.
See him grow up.
I don't know what they're going to. That's all he said. So he said
Well, that's all they have, right?
well, they've only got 2 games to base it off. So
Sure.
it could be a
So
Game
if-
of Thrones situation where they
Yeah.
can maybe then continue the story their
For
own way.
themselves, yeah.
But
Mm.
he said there'll be multiple season based on the second game. So whether that's one more,
Mm.
whether that's going to be season 2 and 3, and then 4 they might go their own way, or they might just end it at 2 and 3.
Oh.
I loved the show,
It's fucking great.
but the fact that I played the game was the only thing. It
Kinda
was
ruins
a
it
lot
for
of
you?
like you know
Mm.
everything that's going to happen, and I loved
Yeah.
watching it like depicted. Amazing, like absolutely loved what they did with the show, and I still
Yeah.
watched episode by episode, even though I knew what was going to happen.
yeah.
And I think it was brilliant, but it just takes away. Like I would have loved to have not played the game. Well, not really. I take that. Like the game was fucking
It was
brilliant
amazing,
as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So I played. I enjoyed my time, and that was the first time experiencing the story. But my wife, yeah, she saw it for the first time. It's like one of her favorite shows of all time, and
So good.
they did it so well, and they cast it so well.
Mm.
Everything was just
You know what people are
Beautifully done.
complaining about not seeing the monsters like or the infected like as much throughout the first season.
I think
They
they
kinda
blew their
wanted
I
it
think they
more.
blew their budget on Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal,
They
yeah.
wanted to get Pascal in. You can't really spend a lot of
I
money
know.
on like.
The man's shit hot at the moment.
Yeah, he'll demand a pretty penny. So yeah,
True.
fair point, but.
I don't know. I wasn't like I didn't care really because I wanted the story.
Because I think even in the games, the story had nothing. The zombies were just there for you to kill something.
Yeah,
Like
true.
they weren't like this huge part of the story that needed to be like in every single scene. You know what I mean? Every single scene was just like they're in this like dystopian world and
Yeah,
that's what's going on. So like they weren't necessary to the story. It was cool when they were on, but and again in that article they did mention that they're going to introduce a lot more
a lot more in season 2.
Yeah, season 2 and 3 they're going to really like bring in.
Yeah. They're also not going to age her. Apparently.
Yeah, so they're not. They're going to just continue.
They're going to
the
keep
thing.
her on. Yeah.
I don't think you
Do
can
you reckon
change
that
her.
works?
Yes.
Well, you can't. I mean, you
No,
can't
you
change
can't
her.
change
She was so good.
She was great. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just saying. I think a lot of people thought maybe she's not right when I watched the first episode.
When I
I've
watched
heard
the
of.
first one. I was like,
Was it you? I think you said it. She threw you off. Yeah.
and then after like the third one, you just fell in love.
I thought she was perfect from the get go.
She proved herself.
I
You
thought
know
she was
why?
brilliant.
Because Ellie in the game is just so cute. It's just like
what are you trying to say about
What? Nothing. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Cut it.
What
Cut
a cancel.
She was so cute, man.
Cut it out. Cut it out. You haven't played the second one, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
Not
maybe
yet.
don't play it.
Well, I don't want to because I don't want
I'm
to
the same
spoil
now.
it.
I
I was
don't
gonna
think I
say-
want to now.
I don't think
because
I
want to
need
see
to.
how they're going to do it in the show, and then I
Yeah,
might
because
do the
you
game
know what
next.
happens.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
But
know
you
pretty much all
don't-
the main parts of
You
it.
do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't play it.
I won't.
Yeah.
I promise.
We won't spoil season 2 for
No,
people
no,
out there. We don't have to go that far into spoiler. But season 1 I
Yeah.
thought was brilliant. I don't know. For me, it just took me out completely knowing the fact.
Look, I knew everything that happens obviously as
Yeah.
well, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
I think because every single important part in the game was just obviously went deeper.
Yeah.
Even the episode with Bill was
Yeah.
really I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that episode with Bill. It's really good.
Oh, it was brilliant. That third
So good.
episode, I think,
Yeah.
that's
Was an incredible
probably
episode.
a standout of the season. That was like
So good.
brilliant. It was so
Yeah.
emotional.
It was really
Yeah, it
good.
was
really good.
Crying
it
the whole time.
No, it was brilliantly made, brilliant depiction of a game. It's very rare that they nail.
It's like the only one that nailed.
Nah, there's a couple.
Like what?
What do you reckon?
Sonic
they've
the
nailed?
Hedgehog?
Nah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe. That's
Actually,
pretty
that's a good
Pretty much
point. Yeah,
nailed it.
because they made 2 parts.
No.
It's pretty good.
What were they saying? There is a couple. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and then I'll look them up.
I watched was the Mortal Kombat one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's
What, the first Mortal Kombat?
always
What did he
worked.
say? Was
Yeah.
Mother, is that you? Too bad, you must die. I think it was Mortal Kombat. The first
Yeah.
one, yeah.
For
It was
sure.
cool because as a kid you're like,
As a kid, we
look at
loved
the
it.
characters and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you're like, this is
Tomb
a
Raider?
horrible story.
Yeah. Tomb Raider kind of worked.
Was okay, yeah.
Kind of worked.
Detective Pikachu, brilliant.
Really?
But like the later Tomb Raider, not the new, the old Tomb Raider. The old
Yeah.
Tomb Raider was kind of iffy. The new one was okay.
With Alicia Vikander.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it actually, but I'm interested.
Trying to have a
I
look.
don't know. I mean, there was so many that failed, right? You had like Warcraft.
Warcraft was okay though.
Was it? I
I
never
don't
watched
think
it.
it was that bad.
It got slammed, and I never
It
gave
did,
it a
but
shot.
well, then again, I've never played Warcraft. I
Mm.
don't know. I don't think it was as bad as
People's make it out
people
to
were
be.
saying.
Mm.
They just really went, hard on it. But I didn't mind it. Like, was it a brilliant movie? Hell no. But I don't know. I found it enjoyable. It would have been
Mm.
cool to see where that story progressed.
Interesting. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. There was like Max Payne as well.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah,
Mark
I'm
Wahlberg
going through
or
them
something.
now. There really
Hitman
isn't
was a
much. I don't
big
know what
one
I'm
as well.
thinking
They
about.
tried to make it
They
work.
tried.
Yeah.
Silent Hill as well.
Silent Hill.
I
I
don't
don't
really
know.
mind Silent Hill too much, but other than that,
It's always, I don't know, it's weird. It's tough. Maybe the right format is a show. That's
mm,
episodic, maybe. Right? 'Cause the
Oh,
games
well,
are
then
so
you
long.
go into, I don't know, the more like Arcane was brilliant, but that's a more animated series
Mm.
that's based off League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends, and I thought Arcane was absolutely brilliant.
Mm.
Things like Edge Runners, based on the Cyberpunk universe, again, an animated thing, but it is
You said that's really good. Yeah.
unbelievable. So there are adaptations that are good. They're more down the animation route. But those two, Arcane, Edge Runners maybe more over Arcane. Arcane's a little bit more.
but even
style
shows to
specific.
games or movies to games are
Yeah.
pretty crap.
Yeah, I just had a look. There's not too many to go off. I thought there was more, but yeah, there really isn't that too many. But that's mainly movies. Like I think
Yeah.
shows a few have done quite well. Castlevania, the TV show as well,
Yeah,
the
that was
animated
good, right?
series was pretty cool.
Mm.
So that sort of stuff was all right, but yeah, there's not too many. Just going off it now.
It's weird, yeah.
Maybe I don't know what I was thinking about.
Mm. Season 2 would be good though.
Yeah, no, I'm
Season
very
2
much
was
looking
sick.
forward to it. I haven't
Kieran's
played the
loving it.
game, yeah.
Pedro, doing the Mandalorian
Yeah.
as well.
I think for me, The Last of Us 2 was my favorite PS4 game.
Yeah, all time.
Yeah.
Really.
It's
Because
just
that
like
girl's so cute.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you know what it is? It is.
God damn idiot.
I think I've never played a game that's lingered with me for even a month after the game's been done.
Yeah.
So playing the game, you go through just like a slingshot of emotions. You go back and forth as well.
Mm,
It's like a ping pong match of emotions.
I like that.
Oh, that's
I mean, like,
we're getting deep.
months-
on the
deep,
podcast.
dude.
Yeah, we're
Because
getting
months
deep.
after you think about the game, and then you're really brought into the game, into the story. And there's not many games that just really suck you into the story.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay is amazing, but it's not like anything groundbreaking. It was pretty similar to the first Last of Us,
Yeah.
other than a few mechanics. But the story was insane.
I know, but even going in games, man, I'm kind of getting over that as well. Like the
What?
exactly
part of
the
it?
same gameplay, but just a new story, and then
Yeah.
like everybody's saying it's amazing. Like
Yeah.
that was the same as with the God of War as well. Like the first one was brilliant because it was like a new thing, and then the second one's identical gameplay but a new story, which is cool. But like you're doing the same thing again.
It's hard
I don't know.
because games are pretty much like an interactive movie.
Yeah.
You know? And when you've worked so hard to create like a Gears, not a Gears of War, a God of War.
Gears
like-
of War.
Gears of War.
Yeah, that was brilliant as well.
Um,
Xbox.
Like if you already
Throwback.
worked so hard to create like a combat system and mechanics, all that stuff. How much more can you add in the second one?
Yeah.
Unless you're revitalizing everything. That's why you have games like FIFA. It's the same game every year. COD every year.
You guys
I just
hate it.
All you're buying is the franchise.
Yeah.
You're sucked into the franchise.
Well, it's like the Fast and Furious.
But I think
You're
we had a chat about this before. Like, I don't think I ever get as excited about anything these days because there's so much news and so many trailers and so many previews and so many this and that and this and that you kind of like have like a solid understanding of what it is before you get it. And then you get it, and for the first couple of hours you're like, wow, this is brilliant, and then you just like settle back into this like same mundane kind of like, okay, this was going to happen and this goes on, and you kind of have like you have a rough idea of where everything's going to go, whether it's movies, whether it's games, shows or whatever. And I think I've spoken about this in podcasts before, but now I just try to eliminate myself completely from anything and just be like, okay, is that something that I think I want to watch? And just try go into it as blank as possible. Yeah,
stay away from
because
everything.
Movies end up being so much like same as like one of my favorite movies of last year was Barbarian, and that was because you messaged me one day like, have you seen Barbarian? I'm like, no, like go watch it, it's good.
You're like, cool, I won't.
And I'm like,
see anything.
cool. And then 2 days later we went and we watched it, didn't look it up, didn't read nothing, just went and watched it. I'm like, and then it just all hits you at once, and you're like, oh wow, that was actually amazing.
Yeah,
and you go into it and you're just like, okay, I had no idea what this was about, and I really enjoyed that experience. And that experience is so hard to get.
It's impossible to get, because I remember we were speaking about Dead Space before.
Yeah.
The first time I played Dead Space, I went to the Laverton Market and there was a guy selling games, and they were legit games. They weren't illegal games. They weren't copied.
Yeah, right.
And I was going through a bunch of the, I think they were Xbox 360 games. Is it a exclusive? It's not, is it?
No, it's not. It was an EA game.
Back in the Xbox days. And $20, the game just said Dead Space. I've never heard of it in my life.
Yeah.
It looked cool. It just looked cool. That was it. Cover looked cool. There wasn't much on the back. Just like, you can change the way you shoot. You can horizontal, vertical, whatever. I bought it without any idea what this game was about. One of the best games I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
It was insane. But these days, when you're watching...
But we had that with Bloodborne. Remember when we first got Bloodborne?
I have no idea about the game.
Nothing. Me neither.
For my birthday. And it took me like 3 hours to get out of the
main section,
the first 20 by 20 square
That's why I stopped playing that, because you gave it to me and I was like, I'm stuck in this thing. I'm like, I don't know. I'll just give up.
But the thing is, like, playing a game like that without any expectation and understanding of what the game's about, the feeling is so different.
Yeah.
But when this game's coming out in 3 years, and then the lead up and the trailers and the hype
reviews
and just like
early access and everything.
What was the Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Cyberpunk was just hype, marketing.
For 2 years, man.
And then it came out and it just plummeted. It just completely crashed.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are playing it anymore. Apparently now
there's a huge resurgence. I haven't touched it. But it's not just games. It's literally everything. Like, I find that with movies as well.
The trailers are like some are 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And you see people die. You see pretty much the middle, or the beginning, middle, and the end. And then you're like, well, what gaps do I fill in when I watch
that's the same as Creed 3. That's the most recent one I went and watched, and a trailer just popped up. I don't know, I was watching TV or something, and he popped up, and he tells you what the story's about before you even get there. Right off the bat, you know, it's like his friend from high school that comes back after something happened, and now he wants to fight him for the title. Then you get to the movie, and then that happens. And you're just like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like, I think it would have, like, the reveal would have been a lot better if they didn't do that. And you kind of go like, oh, what's this going to be about? And then you get into the movie and just like, he's like how it starts with him and like their younger selves and doing this thing. And then like the mystery about like, oh, well, what happened to him? Why is he back? What happened that night? And like, you know what I mean? There's something for you to like actually discover. And then when it happens, because I think the greatest feeling we get like as a human is like that sense of discovery that you got there yourself. Whether that's a game like Bloodborne where you finally get through something and you're like, holy shit, whether that was Arrival when they pieced together the entire movie at the end and you're like, holy shit. And that holy shit moment is just so rare to get with too many things these days where you're just kind of like,
that's what you want.
Well, that's kind of what happened. Same as like, like back in the day, I don't think I ever watched trailers, man. Like there was no internet.
I didn't know how to use my computer.
Yeah. You just heard that there was this movie that could be okay and you went and you watched it and it's like going to be good. And if it's good, those movies stay with you for like, I watched Seven with no knowledge of what Seven was about.
Yeah.
And that movie sticks with me to this day when the entire movie and the twist and
when I go to bed at night.
Yeah. Like it's still there. Like that sense of just like, whoa, like, holy shit. Now it's just, I don't know. It's just the sign of the times where everybody's just like, oh, Diablo, the new one is what? Diablo 4. And I scroll through like my feeds on Facebook, I scroll through my feeds on whatever, and there's just video after video after video explaining the new characters, the new this, the new that. You see a new movie come out, it's on my fucking feed. This. How did they film this? Meet the actors. What did they think of the role? I'm like, I don't care. Like, just
it's too much.
Give me the movie and then let me make a decision as to what it is. And there's just no holy shit moment. I think literally the last holy shit moment was Arrival, and that was what, like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Same. I went into that. I'm like, not watching anything. It looks cool. I'm going in.
Yeah.
And it was fucking incredible.
And then when it clicks, and when your mind goes, because you and Dane watched it, the other guy that's on the podcast. Me and you went and we watched it, and remember when that happened? We just turned to each other like,
no way.
What the fuck? And then the entire drive home, we spoke about the entire movie. Like, so, and then like everything just kept coming back. Like, I remember when she said she was actually, and like you piece these things together, and it's that sense of discovery.
Yeah.
That is just so, and same as one of my favorite movies of all time up there now as well, Midsummer. That was another one where it just kind of popped up on the reviews as like highly rated. Didn't watch anything of it, and you sit there and you watch it, and you're like,
it's a tough one. They're trying to, I guess, they need to
build hype.
They need to build hype. They need to sell tickets. End of the day.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's like, it's really comes down to personal choice. If you're not gonna.
No, I recommend to anyone out there that is like, if you're excited about anything, like the only bad thing about that is, I guess, it's a gamble, because if you're going in and you're spending your own money,
you kind of don't know what it's going to be.
You don't know what it's going to get. Yeah. So this is why, like, if I'm going to go watch a movie, I'll look at the reviews. I won't read the synopsis. I won't read the reviews. I'll go, what are the numbers roughly? Okay, 7.2 on IMDb, 75. That's good. That's good enough. All right, that's in a level. I'm anywhere between 50 and 100 on like the Rotten Tomatoes. Anything below that, if it's somebody I really like, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just want to see the number. Okay, this is an 8. Okay, this might be worth my money. I spend my money, and then I make a judgment on it by myself. But it's just, it just takes out, I don't know, the sense of anticipation, discovery, and everything.
Gone. Yeah,
it's just gone.
I know. What do you think? Like, I want to get Chalish's opinions on this, because I know you're quite fascinated with the metaverse and playing VR games. Where do you think that's going? Because you've tested out a few apps on there, a few videos.
I have.
Videos personally tested out.
I feel like the way we've been...
hours on end.
Hours on end.
The way we had to leave the room.
His clothes were off.
I actually thought
quite weird.
I actually thought they left the room, but they didn't leave the room.
There was a lot of moisturizer.
I think, it's come to the point where like we're almost oversaturated with experience already, with just visually.
Yeah.
The next step is some kind of immersive experience.
Yeah.
And I used to think VR was pretty crap, but on YouTube.
But it was, it was.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
And on YouTube, all you see is like, this is a VR video, but your screen's obviously flat.
Yeah.
And then when I tried out your Oculus,
the Quest.
The Quest, yeah. I was really surprised.
Yeah, I bet you were.
I was really surprised.
So I got a hard on.
There was a lot of zombie games. It got me real hard.
It got me real fucking hard, dude.
But I think that's the future. It's the same as Striking Vipers from Black Mirror. Like, if you look,
two guys
Yeah.
wanking each other up.
If you look at Black Mirror, like everything, we're getting closer and closer to all of that. And the next is the immersive experience of actually feeling and being in a video game.
You want to be there.
You know, that's look. Eventually, when you get to that point, like there's no turning back.
It's just like everything else is kind of shit after that.
I went to Nem's house and he's got a huge 85-inch TV.
I do.
And he's got a PS5.
Yes,
I do.
And I've never played a PS5 or had a TV that big in my life. So
you're
you're obviously you don't have a VR, but you're there, and you have the haptic feedback on the controller. So as you're pulling back the bow and you're letting it go, you hear the sound, you feel everything. So it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's insane, what's next? So what next is like you're in the game, you can move around. Then what's next? Like, I want you to feel what's in the game. I want you to smell what's in the game. Eventually,
but we had this conversation. Like, I think it's all headed towards VR and the Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna. I think it's gonna get to the point where you've got the Neuralink implanted into your neck, and you download the software for Resident Evil 4. Yeah. And you're literally walking through, and then you're going to be just feeling everything and hearing everything all in your inside your head, and plus you're going to be in that world.
It's insane.
And I think the level of immersion is going to just get to a point, and then plus add on top of that like a 360. What are they calling those 360 movement treadmills?
Yeah, treadmill.
And then once you're in there, the world is just the world. Yeah, it's going to just get.
But
crazy
that'll be a whole nother level of addiction.
Oh, for sure.
Like no one's gonna get to work.
Nobody's going to go
No
anywhere.
one's gonna get to work. Even during the whole metaverse stage when it first started, players of the metaverse games were getting paid like, let's say, a certain amount of Ethereum per hour. So there were some kids getting paid $30 an hour to play games.
Yeah.
And what was this for? Like testing them out?
Yeah. So essentially, what they're doing is, as they're playing these games, it looks like a game, but on the back end, they're just mining more Ethereum.
Yeah.
You know? So they're just like helping out
it's working.
the algorithm and just making more.
No shit.
So if I'm 16 years old and working at Mac is going to be like 18, $17, I can just stay at home and just play games.
Yeah.
And I'm just
you enjoy it. Yeah, as well. It's more fun.
It's more
fun, but where's that leading?
But
Like,
It's mental health.
You are literally just like basically writing code to make more for someone else.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
which is essentially a job. You're just doing something for someone else.
For someone else.
But
That's
under the
called a
guise
job.
of a
That's called a
game,
job.
yeah. Under the guise of a game. So yeah,
But
VR.
it'll be crazy. I think we're already highly addicted to social media, highly addicted to our phones.
For sure.
Once we get to a point where a lot of people aren't happy with their lives, they're not happy with their jobs, they're not happy with day-to-day things, and Saturday, Sunday comes and they have an escape.
Yeah.
It might be drugs, it might be drinking, it might be sex, it might be partying, it might be something else.
Yeah.
It'll come to the point where let's say you've always wanted to be LeBron James.
Yes, I did.
You know,
Since I was 5.
and then now you can be in a
That's
game.
bad.
You don't have to train anymore. Say you're 16 years old and you suck at basketball, and your shots just suck. You know what? I can just chuck in NBA 2K30,
Neuralink.
and then I'm LeBron James. I can feel the dime.
LeBron James.
I'm
LeBron
you know,
James.
you can see the crowd
LeBron
looking at you,
James.
cheering for you,
Yeah.
and you feel that rush of playing.
That'll be sick.
And then you go outside and you're shooting, and you suck. You're like, what? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
If everything I feel is in the game, it's the same as outside the game. What's the point of me
Outside
spending
the game.
hours every day? You know, and then
But that's messed up because now you're just you're instead of like working to make your life better, you're just deleting, being like, well, life is shit. I'm just gonna be somebody else in a new fucking thing.
You're
and then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's ways to make your life fucking
I know, but
better. But
we see that now from a generation that's grown up without phones.
Yeah.
And we slowly started seeing internet and phones being introduced. Like I'm going to say something. When I was younger and I had dial-up, when I used to try to watch porn,
Yeah, you were.
I had to select an image and it'd be like, boop, boop, like yeah, boop, boop. But now kids have their iPhones; they can watch 4K porn on their phones.
and that brings back, like I said, the sense of anticipation and discovery. Wait, it wasn't just already. You had to work for that. You had to sit there and wait.
I had to
45
wait.
minutes
And then if that photo was shit, I had to go back,
and find a new.
find a new one.
Find a new one.
This better be good.
Oh no. Oh no.
So we
It's a
literally-
guy.
I'm almost there. Who cares? So we've seen the transition, you know, and that's why kids now that are being born and growing up, they don't know what it's like without a phone.
Yeah.
And eventually we're gonna be like, oh, back in my day, I wouldn't have a phone. Well, you know, it's gonna get to that where kids are gonna be immersed at such an early age. Like for us, I remember when the first game I played was Tekken.
Yeah.
Someone brought a PlayStation to my house, PlayStation 1, and they were playing Tekken. I'm like, fuck, this is fucking sick. But if you go back and look at what Tekken looked like, it was just literally pixels.
Pixel, yeah,
It was just like
pixelated.
pixels.
Yeah.
And you don't see over time.
Pixels.
That's what it was. And you don't see over time the drastic change in video games. There was a video I watched the other day. It was like Pong up until like the current game now, and the change in graphics and then how much they're putting into the production of the game is insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Last of Us, they're acting out with their little balls of CGI, and they're putting it in the game. So like you've got movies essentially becoming games, and then they're like, oh, what's better than a movie? You want to be in a movie.
True.
You know?
You want to be there, have the experience.
Yeah. So essentially, we'll get to that point where we're living our life. Some people spend 7 to 8 hours a day on their phone. you know?
Yeah.
So, and you have 8 hours, if you're lucky, of sleep, and you got the rest of working. So it might not be the majority of your day, but in your waking day, it's almost the majority of your day you're spending on your phone. Eventually, we'll get to a point where the majority of our day will probably be spent on technology or in some kind of social media or virtual world. And that's when you have like the Ready Player One kind of
scenario,
kind of dystopian future.
Well, did you see the new PSVR is like full 1080p 4K HD?
Yeah, it's insane.
You want it, don't you?
Hmm?
You want it.
I want it, but I
can't
just
even
I
imagine
can't.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't.
I can't even imagine
it
that.
costs more than the actual PS5, so I just don't think I'm going to be getting.
quite
But
a
no,
lot.
like the only I've only
Like
used the Quest,
Mm.
and the Quest. Yeah, when that blew my mind. Like it was
Mm.
insane. Like when you what was it?
The
Saints
Walk-
and Sinners.
Saints and Sinners, Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead, Saints and
Mm.
Sinners. Like it was the level, like, and I could see how easy it is to just be like, holy shit, like you're a badass in a zombie apocalypse,
I want to stay here.
and you just and
Mm.
the only difference between that, like that took me out because again, like the technology for that. Maybe because again, if you hook it up to a PC, you can get like a much higher frame rate. But
Mm.
if you're just using the Quest like we were, it's pixelated, so you kind of like there's still not that level of immersion where. But yeah, like I told this story many times. It was just like that thing where like you holster your weapons and you're just walking through this room. All of a sudden, the zombie jumps and like you've just got this instinct to draw a gun and shoot.
You're physically doing it,
And you physically do it because like you're terrified, like, and that's like a moment of like fight or flight. Like there's this thing, it pops out. There's nowhere to like.
Yeah.
You can't like run away from it because like you're in the world.
You're immersed.
And I literally just reached for my gun, pulled out, and I emptied a clip into this thing. And I'm just standing there, and I was just like looking down at my hands.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, what have I done?
have I done?
Yeah. And that level of immersion was just so insane.
It's insane.
And
It's
I
insane.
can just imagine how, and that's why that whole like getting the graphics up to a point where they are with like the new PS5 and all that sort of stuff, which they do have right now with the new PSVR.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's crazy.
it's crazy.
I remember the first time I played it like for hours, and then like I sat on my computer to like start work, and I had my hands on the table, and I was like kind of like not lifting it with my like mind, but it's like I think I can lift it somehow. Like controllers, I'm like, are my hands real? Like, it's kind of a weird moment. I'm like, this is scary.
It's so strange.
Yeah,
It's
this
such a
is
strange
scary.
experience, but it's only going to get more and more immersive. And
They're pushing the metaverse, whatever. They're pushing a lot of it as like business function. You can be in that room, you can have that meeting, you can have this whiteboard, you can present things.
that's how they always
It's
present
pushing it that way, but it's very dangerous. at the
But
same
they
time.
present everything like it's a positive, and then in the background they're making their money and trying to like fulfill an agenda, I guess,
for sure.
for whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
same as social media, catch up with your friends and like share your photos with family, and then they end up sparking a fucking civil war almost in America because they just like spew because you're just being fed the shit that you look up. And
sure.
hate is a bigger motivator than anything good. So now you're just being like every single time. I literally looked up one comment when Djokovic was going through that whole ordeal in Australia. I looked up one comment about like, what we think about Djokovic, and it was like negative.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And I closed it. To this day, I get updates.
Still.
Negative Djokovic. This was like a year and a half ago.
Insane.
And to this day, I still I'm telling you, like you guys talk amongst yourselves, and I'll see if I can find
It's gonna pop up
a
right
Djokovic thing. But it's just insane. Like so yeah, with the metaverse, it's definitely something that they're building out. Oh, you can have your business meeting here and there, and then they're gonna make it so addictive that people are gonna do absolutely nothing else but spend 95% of their day in the fucking metaverse.
Think about what Facebook was when he first started getting on Facebook.
Yeah.
You see what your friends are doing, you see where your friends are at, then you see photos. But over time, you're like, your friends like this page. Like, oh, I remember when I was in grade 6, blah, blah, this happened, you know?
Yeah,
and then everyone
yeah.
liked that. And then over time, all those pages that you liked end up being marketing pages.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
start sending you shit. And then you start seeing what your friends post less and less. Now if I go on Facebook, it's just ads.
Yeah.
It's just ads. It's
So many
just
of them.
pages. And I'm like, where is the immersion? But then you realize that you are the product. You're being
Yeah.
sold to all the time.
For sure.
And then if I go on Facebook, I will see something that I've spoken about or something that I've searched, and it's like, you know what, you
Even
probably like
they're
this.
spoken about, which is the weird
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
Yeah. Pops
Spoken
up.
one's been around for a while.
It's been around for
For
ages.
ages,
Like,
yeah.
oh no, it's
That
just the
one-
algorithm's very good. Look, the algorithm is very good,
Yeah.
but it also listens to what you say.
Mm.
It does.
Yeah.
you know?
Picks up on it.
So sometimes on purpose I'll say something.
What
then
do
like,
you say?
boom,
I'm interested in what
nothing.
you say.
I say Coca-Cola cans.
Ellie, young and cute.
Ellie, young, cute.
I love the girl from Last of Us. Can I get one?
Just heaps of ads.
You gotta cut that out. Cut that out.
Cut.
I can't say that.
Oh god.
Nah, it's insane. It's
I've been
absolutely
watching too
insane.
much footy, so now all I've got is footy. But I'm sure Djokovic, I'll put it up in the comment section when a Djokovic thread comes
Think
up.
about the person that's not headstrong and you're in a game, let's say you're flying and you're feeling the rush of flying and you've got this crazy sensation that you don't get in the real world.
I
And then
had
you're like-
that with the bloody zombie game.
Yeah.
I had that.
So
I
imagine
felt
that.
the feeling, and I'm like, this is dangerous.
So
I wanna do
imagine
this.
that on steroids.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I
and then you
panicked
get
when I had
out.
that.
You get out and you go to a fucking job you hate. Do you know
Mm.
how dull your real world is going to be?
But
It's
you
gonna
said it yourself.
suck.
It's
Yeah.
soon going to be a job in the metaverse. It's not going to be, oh yeah, you can fucking walk around the French Riviera for 3 hours. It's going to be, you're going to have to fucking own a shop in the metaverse and sell fucking candy to, and it's all going to just like,
Oh,
You're going to be working in the
yeah,
metaverse.
you're going to be in the metaverse.
A boring
working.
job in the
Yeah,
metaverse.
Yeah. And you're going to think, oh, this is it. But then you're going to be in the metaverse like, oh, fuck, I need to get credits so I can buy the new gun.
Yeah.
So then, like, what do I do? I'll open up a fucking lemonade stand.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in the metaverse selling lemonade so you can buy the gun. It's fucking real. It's, yeah.
Yeah, and
Anyway.
you're living in a fucking cubicle, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna
God,
work
I'm
my
getting-
ass
I'm
off. I'm
getting
gonna
too
buy
far.
land down there. I'm buying land down there, and you buy a big house, but you're living in this little cubicle. You're like laying down.
But even now, you have to spend physical money for like plots in the metaverse.
Wow.
So you have to work hard in the real world. So you can buy a block in the metaverse. So you can build a house in the metaverse, which is going to cost metaverse money, which you're going to have to do a work job for anyway. It's all going to be the same.
You
So
know what
that's-
you are? I always think about this. You are basically you're plugged into the matrix. That's what you are.
It is
You're in
the
that little
Matrix.
thing. You're plugged in, and you're just
You
getting
are.
sucked out of all your energy. That's
So
all you
far.
are.
Getting sucked off.
slowly.
You're sucked off by the AI.
Yeah,
It's all on your
sucking
head.
off, dude.
But you're sucking-
Alexa.
but you're sucking
Alexa.
off the AI. AI sucking me up in the real world. You're blah, 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 blah.
Who's sucking me off?
Who's sucking who off? Huh?
Well, I think we found your job in the metaverse.
Sucking people up in
Just
the
to get
metaverse.
credits.
That's your MacBook.
You need to install a new update.
Hey, why
it has to come from
why
my mouth.
so rich? I suck off AI. Highest paid job in the metaverse.
Come around to
I
Tesla.
work 20-hour days.
Suck people up in the metaverse.
I got a mouthful of lithium.
It's all going to be the same, man.
For
Just-
sure, there'll be
that's-
prostitution in the metaverse.
First thing, that'll be the first job, man, because
what is it from,
nobody's going to want to be an electrician in the metaverse.
Blade Runner. When he's got
Yeah.
his
Joy, the
the joy,
artificial,
and he can
yeah.
just make her into what he wants. At 6 o'clock, I don't want you to say shit. You know what I mean?
Well, here we go.
What movie did you
Shut your
watch?
mouth. Women only speak from 2 to 5. And they only say yes and yes, sir.
What's this movie you watched?
Here we go. That's what a scotch does to him. His real feelings
I don't want
come
you
out.
to talk to me between the
You're
hours
either
of
gonna
5 and
nod your
6.
head or go to sleep.
Oh,
Now
God.
you listen to me, Joy. This is a man's
Everyone
house.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Then he gets a prostitute, right? And then he just puts that.
Yeah, her face.
Well, it's the
on
same
top and
in
then
Total Recall. Was it Total
Yeah,
Recall?
but it's
He has
a
the
holographic
hologram,
one.
and then
Yeah.
that's it. But it's funny that like
Looks quite
even
good.
back in the day, they were just like, because that's like what AI is being built for anyway. Like that's literally what it's for.
Porn, prostitution,
Literally that sort of stuff.
blowjobs in the
Yeah.
metaverse.
Just
Because what
VR.
did they say? So this is another Joe Rogan. Look, if you guys want a much better podcast, just listen to the Joe
Joe
Rogan
Rogan.
one because we're just rehashing the exact same topics. But what did they had? They had this like one thing where you can buy a virtual girlfriend. You might have heard it. I think it was something
Maybe, yeah.
about with Duncan Trussell. So you can buy a virtual girlfriend, and he got to a point that he was just like getting out of control or whatever. They had to shut down the service, and people called up threatening to kill the people that made it if they didn't return their fucking girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's like an AI, and like people were calling up. So people like at the end of the day, I think it all leads to that because I'm sure there's people out there that are lonely. That all they want is like that, and it shows. This was just like a little. It wasn't an intentional study,
Yeah.
but it was a service that they provided, and yeah, it's all going to lead to that at some stage.
Chelish's face just pops up in the metaverse. Hey, would you like a blowjob?
Only 5 credits.
5 credits.
I'm almost level 38. Thank you for your service.
Level 99 after 1 week. That's OnlyFans.
This man has clocked the game.
Because OnlyFans are being run by AI, so guys who can set up
Yeah, you
AI
can
on
create like
OnlyFans.
virtual females.
So they're creating virtual
Yeah. I've heard
women
about this.
making a shit ton of money, and real women are like, wait, who's taking our money and who's doing what?
Yeah.
So these guys are making AI girls. These AI girls are
AI
chatting
generated,
to chatting to all these guys.
Mm.
They're sending videos. They're sending pics that look real. At the
AI
end of the
generated,
day, all
yeah.
these guys want. At the end of the day, like, well, if it's real or not, I'm still getting attention. It's the same thing as when guys go to Thailand. Like, look, she might be a guy, she might be a girl, but I'm still getting something. You know what I mean?
Hi, I'm Sin.
Welcome to my metaverse.
I got
again-
80 hands.
They were talking about it in.
He's got 80 hands. So efficient.
Super one spin. Bring your friend.
But again, they were talking about it, the Joe Rogan one, when they imagine then incorporating like Chat GBT into the whole metaverse, and then it being able to talk to you, and like
for
not
sure.
be like a computer, like hello, Sin, nice to meet you. Like it's like an actual.
That's her.
And then it's like, and it just like
her.
it comes down, and then Chat GBT could actually talk to you. Like when you
it's
look
getting
at
there.
it, Chat GBT is insane.
Yeah.
Again, the Joe Rogan one, they had like a funny conversation. Like they kept asking her how much cum could fill into the Great Canyon, and he wouldn't answer the question. And then they're like, "What about mayonnaise?" And then it gives you all the stats like that. It tells you in like 13, like in 0.1 of a second, how much mayonnaise fits into the thing.
It's insane.
It was so funny, but again,
it'll get
much
to
better
that.
podcast than this. If you guys want to go watch it, I'd highly recommend that one. Yeah, if you probably tuned out on
There's
this one
some
already.
really good mayonnaise cum talk.
Oh, it was so funny, but yeah,
It's
I don't know. It's just AI. I don't know. Technology is getting fucking.
I just think. Let's say there's a lot of misunderstood men, and let's say if they talk to AI and they're like, this fucking, I don't care if it's a computer.
It's giving
It
me more
talks to me
attention.
like a woman. It doesn't stop when it speaks, and it's giving me attention, and it just understands.
I told you that's
me.
why.
Better than any other girl.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, like, then what is all that you require? A bit of sex, a bit of pleasure. You know what I mean?
That's where I come in.
Yeah.
And then if
Hi,
you
I'm
want,
Sid. Welcome to the metaverse.
all I need is one Ethereum. You get 4 hours.
80 hands. This guy's so good.
If you got
It's gonna happen.
if you got
Sid.
Bucks parties, 20 guys at least. You get one Ethereum.
Call
and
him out, yeah.
call them.
You don't need like topless bartenders anymore. You don't need nobody's playing poker.
You can choose any face you
We're
want.
all getting blowjobs from you in the metaverse.
No one's playing poker
There's
anymore.
no poker. There's no nothing. Like you don't go like,
I'm just
let's go
thinking
play paintball. No, like just get in and fucking blow
I'm
you in the
living,
in
I'm
metaverse.
the
living in a
metaverse.
huge mansion in the metaverse. So how'd you get all this money? I'm like, don't worry, man.
Don't worry how I got this. Hi, I'm Sin. Then like
Blowing
your
everyone.
ad straight away comes on.
He starts mixing with real life.
You seem lonely. Do you want a blowjob?
So it's,
He builds this like system, like he works
that's
in
where
it
he's
for
headed.
years.
That's where he's headed. I'm telling you right
Jumps
now.
in there to
I've
blow
got an
people.
algorithm. It knows if you're feeling sad. Like, you're feeling sad. Do you want a blowjob?
Blowjob.
Hi, I'm Sin. You're feeling sad? Do you want to?
marketing tool?
So you're gonna be a billionaire. You're gonna be the first billionaire of the metaverse, man. You're gonna
First
take over the
billionaire
whole platform.
living on the floor
Correct.
in the real world.
Yeah, just like a VR headset, just screaming.
Alright.
Blah, blah, blah.
I made it.
I made it, mama.
Big mama. Yeah,
Just skin and bones.
we'll see.
Blowing people
We'll see.
24/7.
This virtual semen. This tastes like metal.
This is great.
I wonder how much of this could go into the Grand Canyon. Let's find out.
You're an idiot.
But I
Yeah.
But I think it's
That
possible.
went way off. That went way off script.
Like,
I love
That's
how we
really
started
gone-
this. It was
gone
so
off
nice.
script.
Like, what do you think about Quentin Tarantino ending at 10 to this guy being the world's biggest prostitute on the metaverse?
Skip 30 minutes.
How many years do you reckon to in some kind of
10.
interactive?
10. Under
I don't
10.
think it's that far off. Yeah,
10.
5 to 10.
10,
I could
yeah,
even say
I reckon
under
5 to
10.
10.
Yeah, it
I
won't be
reckon 5
double.
to
Like,
10.
yeah, double
Yeah.
digits is a like long and like mid fives.
Like,
is
it might not be like obviously what we feel, but it would
But you've
be
seen those. You can get those
the
like
haptic feedback suits.
Yeah.
suits, but you can
Yeah.
also get like there's that whole
Shoots coming
kissing.
your
Have you
mouth.
seen the kissing thing? So it's just like a mouth, and you kiss the mouth, and your partner can be in another country, and
It
the
will
sensors
mimic.
pick it up, so it
Yeah,
mimics you making out with the mouth.
Wow.
So you're like,
Yes.
so you'll be doing that, and the mouth is doing what your partner's doing on the other end, because it's picking up the connection, however, wirelessly, and it's being passed on to you. So you could be there making out with your wife, and you could be in another country. And now slap a VR headset on and put on a haptic feedback suit, and like, what more do you need?
This is the question that I think about. If you have, let's say VR, even the current VR, the one that you have,
Yeah.
and then future advancement. Let's say if you have VR porn that feels really realistic,
If you have-
is that borderline cheating?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.
So is jacking off to porn right now on a computer screen cheating?
I don't think so.
No. So what then crosses the line of cheating?
Yeah, the metaverse one is weird. I don't think. There could be a line there. It really depends on what you and your partner
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, well, there's people right now that are in like open relationships and they're cool with it, so they don't consider that cheating.
Let's say that's physical.
But I think, but it still comes down to the partner. Like some girls might be like, well, that's just a digital fucking thing. Yeah. They might be upset that you're doing it.
Some girls against porn.
Well, yeah, exactly. So it just depends where. Like it's really hard to put like a blanket statement and say like that's cheating and that's not, because again, we know some people and we know what kind of relationships that they have.
No, but it's
and you're kind of like, and they're cool with it. So like it works for them. That's fine. As long as you're not like going behind their back doing something.
I think if it's like AI generated, like not real, like it's probably not. But if I go into Metaverse and then Charlie blows me, like doing some sort of physical thing, and I've got this mouth that kisses, but I put it down there, I think that could be.
Real one. Like, what's going on, man? Bro, you blew me last night. Bro, it's just a game, man.
Game, dude.
It's just a game. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, dude?
Nah, it's
I'm not gay, dude.
But it's a tough one because eventually it'll get to a point. This is the thing. There's a point where the needle goes too far. It'll get to a point where guys are like, well, why do I need a physical girlfriend?
It could get there.
Because like unless we have kids and we're both looking after the kid, if we're just dating and you kind of annoy me every now and then.
But that's the thing. But that's, I think, that's the bigger spectrum there. Like, why do I need a physical like girlfriend? Well, yeah, like to fucking keep this country to keep this world going.
Country going.
We need Australia. No, like it's if you're just fucking a fucking digital human, you're not gonna have kids. You might have kids in the metaverse, but you're no longer prolonging the.
Yeah, but the majority of people already today think all the rules is overrun by people and the population is too high. The thing about in
nobody's saying that.
No, people are saying.
Who's saying the population's too high?
People are saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
People that are climate change activists are saying that there's too many people.
Yeah, there's too many of us.
Okay, so eventually the kids now growing up.
But there's a downturn in America. There's a downturn of like there's less kids being born than people that are dying.
Of course, and in Japan
but,
as well.
But that's why. This is what I'm saying.
It's a global number of people.
But that's why. But like you can see that that's happening now because of things like porn and like more digital relationships that people can have because they feel like they don't need to. Yeah, there is obviously more things, but and it's also like people don't want to have kids and they want to have kids later, and then later kids comes with complications, and there's a bunch of reasons behind it. But like we've already gone to like if that's the bad thing. Like you're asking like what's the bad thing about having like why is it so bad? You just get what you want and you just get a little bit of sex. No, like the whole point is to reproduce. The whole point is that's the point of like being with a woman. Like you have a kid, and I understand not everybody wants to. That's fine. But if you're making it like a mainstream thing and making it to a point where you can't distinguish between like the fake and the real, and then you're just getting the easy, because that's what guys like. We're literally wired to just get
the easy.
Yeah. Well, not the easy. Like we also like there's the thrill of the hunt. Like none of us would just like So there is that kind of a sense. But like. If you're someone like, at a certain point, like if you're just heavily focused on your career and you want to be the best at everything, you don't have time to go out. You don't have time for dates. You don't have time for this and that and this and that. And more people are going to get into that being like, well, I can maybe get a better job, work harder, make more money. I'll just come home, cop this thing from this fucking AI. I'm fucking done. We all know how it is after you're done. You kind of just check out automatically. Like you don't really care about anything else and you're out of that thing. So that's all you're looking for. You're just looking for that momentary release of pleasure.
Instant.
But if you're making it that accessible, it's just going to get to a fucking point where
the point of no return, man.
That's what I'm saying.
The point of no return.
And that's what I'm scared of. Like my wife's pregnant and I'm fucking terrified. I don't know what the fuck's going to be happening. Like, like even seeing like how some people, like everybody that I've heard and that had kids be like, we're not going to give them phones and we're not going to give them iPads because we are going to be the kind of parents that are going to be doing this, and this, and this. And then you end up in a situation and they get so like attached to these things from like such a young age. And I'm saying that as well, but like you just can't, like there's just nothing like it. And that's like the scary thing. Like it's how do you progress?
It's a never say never thing, because I've spoken to parents where with their kids, they've tried everything. And these parents are getting 3 hours. I think the average is you get 3 hours less of sleep every day up until they're 1.
Yeah.
So these parents have tried everything. And then the minute they give them the phone, quiet.
Yeah.
And they go, is it worth me just succumbing to this and giving them the phone? And a lot of parents do succumb to it. And I understand it. I used to be like that. Like, I'm not giving them the fucking phone. No phones at a certain age. But if I'm barely sleeping and I'm working, I'm trying to make ends meet, and I'm just all over the shop.
What's your life like?
And then, like, I'm in the back seat. End of the day, I want to be number one priority so everyone else can be lift it up. And if that works for me, then I'm like, shit, maybe it's something that I got to. Obviously, you have to control it. You can't be like, take the phone. I'm not going to be a parent.
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think we also, like, you just have to accept the fact that technology is going to be a part of their lives. Like, it wasn't nowhere near.
You can't shut them off.
Man, from 92 till about 2002, we never saw a fucking computer. And then all of a sudden we had a PC, and then all of a sudden we had internet. You're like, well, what the hell is this? Then you get a Nokia 3310, you got Snake on it. And you're like, well, what the hell is this thing? You know what I mean? So, like, we kind of grew up in a time where none of that was a thing.
Sure.
So, like, yeah, and like
look at it now.
You can't escape it.
Look at your phone now. This is the thing. Every single time a new iPhone comes out, people just get the new iPhone without even thinking. No. So the change in technology and the improvement, it's like the way they release it, it's like you don't even think about it. But if I was to go back 20 years, let's say 10 years, 15 years, and I gave you the iPhone 14, you'd be like, fucking magic. What's going on? Camera here, camera there. You'd be like, this is fucking voodoo, you know? But how much it's changed from when we first started being introduced to, like, I remember getting technology, a Coca-Cola phone. Yeah. So you get 4 bottles of Coke, you take off the label. I'm being serious. And you bring it into a shop.
Drink all 4 bottles.
you bring it to a shop and you pay $50 and you get a Coke phone. It's like a Nokia 3310, but it's a Coca-Cola cover and everything. And I'm like, sick, playing Snake, you know? To what you have today, you can play COD on your fucking phone.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And you also don't want your kid to be like, you don't want him to be the first in the classroom. You don't want him to be the last in the classroom to get a phone. So you got to, like, I think it's a timing thing. Exactly. But at a certain point, like, if they're the last in the fucking school, you are just not going to hear the fucking end of it.
Of course, yeah.
You are going to be just battered into this thing, like, up until...
Yeah. What's the negative effect of not giving them technology, not giving them a phone?
Well, there's a negative effect because, like you said, I think what's his name said it the best, Bo Burnham. Like, a little bit of everything all of the time. Like, you are just exposed to the entire world at such a young age, and how, like, it's like, it's crazy.
For sure.
The access of everything at your fingertips that we didn't have back in the day. We were very inquisitive with what we saw with the internet. Like, I used to go on 4chan all the time. All the time.
It's revealing a lot.
Yeah. And then you guys know my darkest secrets.
When I see my woman come home.
I went on 4chan. I put my woman in the face. But now, kids at such a young age have... look, I think kids are getting smarter. Like, we are seeing kids that are doing TikToks and all that stupid stuff. But I think kids now are more open-minded and are getting smarter because they have the access to information at their fingertips. But at the same time, it's just the...
But I think it works both ways.
It's a double-edged sword.
I think if you're using it, if you're somebody who's using it to better yourself, the tools are unreal. Like,
for sure.
Like, I've seen it with myself, just watching, like, videos how to, like, feel better, do better, all that sort of stuff, and you implement those things in your life, and you're like, holy shit, like, I never would have got this information when I was younger. You know,
how do I learn something real quick?
YouTube, how do I learn? YouTube, click, watch a whole, like, watch an expert talk about it for an hour, listen to a podcast while you're working, and, like, by the end of it, you know every little minute detail of the thing that you decided to research. So if you're using it in a positive, it has amazing effects. If you're using it to a negative, it has absolutely detrimental effects. So it goes both ways. So, like, I think the hard thing is to just, like, keep it in the middle somewhere where you can use it for both.
I mean, we use it. We're on it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we're living our lives. Obviously, we had a different start to it because it was introduced.
It really is
so
different,
man.
But it's the question
like,
of,
you
like...
see it all the time. Like, it's just people on their phones.
It's different.
You can't, the conversations now, like, do you see dates now? I'll walk into. I see it all the time.
I'll walk into a restaurant.
I see it all the time,
and I'll see it's either one or both of them, just like this.
But that's the other thing. They're saying, like, the social. Again, I think Bo Burnham might have said it in his song. Brilliant song. If you guys haven't heard it,
shout out to Bo Burnham.
Unreal. But anyway, like, you said it in your song. Like, you this thing was. We need to burn some ham.
Burn ham.
This is like all these, like, the social networks were like, oh yeah, you could be more social and, like, catch up with friends, but, like, it's literally teaching, like, completely eliminating any kind of personality and your ability to communicate.
You're plugged in
because all your communication's done over a phone. So this is why we're seeing, like, the younger generation of dates. Like, it's no longer, like, talking and trying to, like, spark up a conversation, and then you figure out where that person sits from that. Like, I've been on bad dates, I've been on great dates. You know what I mean? You can kind of judge your person, like, where there wasn't a phone. Right now, like, you could just be like, oh, have you seen this? And then she watched, oh, that's funny. And then like, you know what I mean? And then like, yeah, I've seen it as well. Like you're sitting there and people are just like looking and then the other one's looking and then the food comes, they put it down and they don't know what to say to each other because there's no, like you've never like built up that social skills to be able to like communicate properly. So everything's based off this
Because
and what's going on
it's
here.
a part of you now.
It's
The
a
phone
part
is
of
a
you,
part
yeah.
of you now.
You freak out if you don't have it.
It's a part of you.
Yeah, it's insane.
You lose your phone, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
do,
you
yeah.
feel
It's a
lost.
part of
You don't
you.
know what the fuck's going
We're
on.
used to it not being a part of us.
Fucking
But,
deep,
like, yeah,
man.
I-
Jesus Christ.
like,
Man.
I-
What do you think about Quentin Tarantino making an 11th movie?
Did you say Ant-Man, Quant-Man, Tarantino?
Quantman, Tarantino.
But I think I said this probably a month ago that technology is the biggest.
I like how he knows when he said it.
I said this.
I
I
said
said
this
this 1 month
30
ago.
days ago when I slapped my wife. So
We need to eliminate all.
Cut that.
That needs to be cut.
I don't
It's a
hit,
joke, but
I
I
don't
don't think
hit
too many people
women
take kindly to
unless
those
they
jokes.
deserve it. So I think
It was
technology
1 month ago
is the
exactly.
biggest double-edged sword. You know, when we first created fire and understood how to create fire, it
Said
keep
this a
you
month
warm.
ago.
It keep you warm.
Fire 1 month
It
ago.
can keep you warm. It can burn your house down. But in terms of technology, it's the biggest double-edged sword. You can learn so much. You can be an amazing human being, or you can be sucked into that fucking vortex.
Yeah, but it's hard. You can't really make the argument get rid of it. You can't really.
No,
do
no,
it.
no, no. Nobody's
Yeah,
making
you
it.
can't.
No, there's no chance.
There's no
fucking
chance, 'cause
no
it's a
chance.
part of us.
But I think there is some stuff that you can get rid of. That's
Like
the
what?
thing. Like social media.
Yeah.
I think social media in its current format is it's a cancer to society. Like legitimately, in my like personal opinion, all it does is breed hate mainly, and it puts you into a group, and you're locked into that group, and then you believe what it's.
It's
What
just echo chambers, man. Bunch
What
of echo
about
chambers.
building communities and friendships on social media?
who, where, when? Like you've got how many friends have you got on Facebook, and how many of them do you talk to? It's not you're not building
A
any
small
kind of
percentage.
community. Like all it is, all it does, all that the number of friends you have on your Facebook does is just build anxiety if you don't have enough. And then if you feel like you're less of a human if you have 200 compared to everybody else who has 600.
Yeah.
You're not talking to any of these people. I have 600 people on my friendship group, on my Facebook thing. 1, 2, there's 2 other guys that I talk to out of the boys that I knew from primary school and friends from my wife's side. There's a grand total of about 10 to 15 people that I converse with on a regular basis. Every now and then somebody will have a birthday that I remember from back in the day. I'd say happy birthday, but then it's the same as we all live in the same area. I'll walk through High Point and see him and be like, holy shit, and you catch up for a second. I think the negatives of social media is overall, I can't see a positive to it that your normal stuff like messaging now hasn't incorporated, where if you want to like connect with your family and friends, send your friend a fucking, like how many photos have I posted up of like my wife's like the what's it called ultrasounds that we've been doing? None. How many have I showed you? I send you guys and like just a text message.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit, look at my kid.
Other way to communicate.
There's
Yeah,
other
for
ways
sure.
to communicate.
For
Because
sure.
that's what I'm saying. So like, it's so yeah, technology as a whole is a benefit, 100%. I don't deny that. There's things that the things that are most popular in technology are the things that are causing a negative effect on people, whether their mental state, physical state, whatever it is. It's causing a negative. Like you see it all around the world. Like people just butting heads about every little topic that fucking comes up, and everybody has an opinion.
There's no
And
grey
not
area.
everybody has to voice their fucking opinion. There's no need for everyone to voice their opinion.
It's too many of
And
them.
and the ones that have the most ridiculous opinions are the ones that get put on a platform, and they're the ones that you hear the most from. That's my spiel, and that's why.
Out.
My social media consists of YouTube watching videos that I like, Messenger messaging you boys and organizing podcasts, and podcasts, and that's what I listen to. I barely deleted Instagram. Snapchat with my wife, that's about it, because we have a puppy and a new baby on the way, and we send each other cute shit. That's pretty much what we do,
You're off it.
and that's fine.
I think that's the way to do it. Like you really have to pick and choose
But
how it
it's
suits
scary,
you.
man.
How it
It's
suits you.
scary how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like we got social media at a later stage, and when it was in its infancy, it was still pretty rough, but it was still pretty social based, like
was very
with your
social
own little
based.
thing. Like it was like still there
Like,
was a lot of like
Instagram was just basically filters.
Yeah.
And it wasn't photos of yourself. It was photos of things and very artsy.
Sure. It's turned
Because
towards
it was
yourself
the
now, right?
only application that can upload photos fast, and they can condense it and make it look nice.
Sure.
And that's all it was.
but
That was filtered.
that's what I mean. Like and that's what all of those things have done, which is why I'm saying it's a net negative if you compare everything. It sets unreal standards for men and women alike.
Mm.
Because again, you go onto these fucking things and they're filtered to the nines and they're plastic surgery steroided guys and you're scrolling through that and you're just an average looking bloke and you're just like, fuck, man. It's like, and then like your sense of self-worth, and then you post up a pic thinking you look cute. You're like, ooh, here's a little selfie. I think I look cute here.
feel
And
good.
you post it up, you get like 13 likes, and then somebody says like, that shirt's shit. And like,
He's
and
done that.
you go from a high
He's done that to
and
you
you
before.
plummet to a zero, like automatically.
Hey, what's
And
up with that shirt, dude?
Yeah, and it's just like, and that's what I mean. Like it's a net negative. Like at its first introduction, it made sense and it was fun. And I remember when I first got onto it, but yeah, and then from that stemmed cyberbullying, and then from that stemmed fucking revenge porn, and then from that stemmed image issues and all this sort of stuff. So now trying to like raise a kid in a world that like appearance is everything is going to be so difficult, and then to try then keep them away from the world when the top 0.01% are the ones that are displayed every single day, and you're like, well, I can never achieve those kind of heights. And then how do you? And it shows now with depression skyrocketing in both males and females, males particularly, but in females as well. It's all just self-image, and if you don't look like a certain way, you're automatically
that comparison.
But
to
things
everything
like
else.
this, and then but social media on a platform like this is something. We have a podcast, you have like a fine film thing, and that's pretty cool. You engage with the community that you like, that has nothing to do with self-image, that has nothing to do. It's just we have a common interest in this one thing, which is movies. You couldn't be able to fucking tell from this fucking podcast.
Going off topic.
Yeah. But we
Off
have
script.
we're all a part of this community. Doesn't matter what you look like, what age you are, whatever it is. You like movies, I like movies. We're gonna have something to connect about, and that's where you can find the positives. Whether it's making stuff like that, but it's a self-image stuff.
I think a lot of it comes down to education and like knowing where it's going, how to use it, when to use it.
There's a blueprint to get through it, but then you like we said that with the giving technology to your kids. I'm not going to give them technology until they're 10, and then they're screaming every single day, and you're like, try this, and then they shut up. It's the same thing. Like you're like, oh well, look, with Instagram, you gotta, and then you're like, imagine your kid gets like a first like cyberbully comment into their like and how do you go from that? Like, where do you go from that thing?
Look, there's a few points that, for example, I see.
But we had so just sorry, and then just keep that. But my last point on it, we had a girl that sent like, this was in high school. She sent a guy that she liked a video. They were together. She sent him a video. A couple of weeks later, they broke up. Everybody got that video, and she had to move schools. And I don't know where like she ended up. And I'm like, I hope she's fine, and I assume she is. Like, she kind of like had to get herself out of that situation.
It's horrible.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's stuff like that happens all the fucking time. Like everything happens. Like all this stuff happened, and it wasn't just that one. I just remember her. She had to move schools. Another one where she was like, she was cool with it. She was like, did you like the video, guys? I'm like, okay, this is like, she's a bit of a loose cannon, but but and that's perfectly fine as well. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of stuff. Like you think you're safe, and then something has to go wrong for the whole world. And when you're a teenager, your high school is your whole world. Like you don't really care that like some guy in America can see this.
Yeah.
But if everybody in your high school has seen this video, that's your world, and that's just come crumbling down in a second. And that's the kind of stuff that's like terrifying and like scared to like, especially having like younger kids now. When
how do you maneuver around
that? Like you can set blueprints and stuff like that, but when you're like young and like you're in love and you think you're sending this like cute little pic to your boyfriend, and you love him and he trusts you, and this will never happen, and then that happens, the ramifications and the trying to get somebody out of that is just
it's like but I think we all kind of know these little blueprints. It's like, never send nudes, never send this, like don't.
But
like,
for a child, it's so hard to understand.
But it's exactly
moment thing,
because you're learning along the way. Like,
because for a child, like let's say a teen who's 14, when they're in love in school, they don't know better. Anything, they don't know better. They'll send a photo.
Yeah, that's what she thinks. They were in a relationship.
You don't understand repercussions about anything.
No, you don't.
Like,
really.
I love him, he loves me. We're gonna be together forever. And then you send him a nude, you guys break up, and he's like, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah.
But like, and I'm not trying to say that this guy was like some dickhead that sent it to everyone, but he'll be like, bro, have you seen this? And he sends him a pic, like, this is her, so-and-so. And then that guy, like, it's Chinese whisper kind of situation where you say something and then it just balloons out to be this.
Your morality in school is like, when I think
you don't know. Like, man, I was terrible in high school.
I was bullied a lot. Then for me to shift that, I'm like, I'll bully people as well. I'll bully people for a bit, and I said some fucked up shit, so I got fucking bullied again and got bashed. And then I'm like, maybe I should stop bullying people. maybe I should stop bullying
I
people.
said some shit and then I got bashed.
You know? And then I realized, I'm like, holy shit, I actually never thought about what my words can do to someone. Because if I was in that position and cop those words, I'm like, that really sucks.
For sure.
But as a child, you have no idea about repercussions.
No.
Like, I remember in school when I was a student and we'd see a hot teacher and it was
God.
like,
she's so hot.
and we'd say like,
cut.
we'd be like, oh, she's hot. But we didn't
I'm going to punch you.
we didn't think about anything. But then when roles reversed, when I was a teacher, like it's so weird when a student has the hots for you because you're like, wait, I'm an adult, you're a child.
This
It's
is so
weird.
inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate. But a child never understands how inappropriate it is because like, oh, I'm old enough. I'm 15.
Yeah, true.
You're like 24. It's all right, you know?
Yeah.
You don't understand.
No,
So
you
roles
don't.
reversed. And even going back into what I was going to say about the social media.
Yeah.
Like social media can help in terms of like for people that have a business.
For
In
sure.
terms of business is amazing.
That's what I've been saying.
In terms of like, I've seen so many people that are so creative on social media, but the issue is there's more of the negatives that I'm
That's
seeing.
exactly what I
because
said,
the negatives are what's drawing in the anxiety and the depression.
For sure,
Because
yeah.
for example, I'll go on there and I'll see like the hottest guys or the hottest girls. You know?
Then I got bashed.
I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying.
the dumbest shit to those hot guys.
I'm just being honest. If I see a good-looking guy, I'm saying it's a good-looking guy.
Hey, look, I'm just
And, like,
being honest.
They're guys that appear to have an amazing life, an amazing lifestyle. You're like, wait, what's wrong with my life? Why can't my life be? And then you forget that your life is actually pretty good. The life that we live in Australia, we're living in the top 1% of people in the whole world.
For sure.
But then we'll relate to some guy who's dating a supermodel, who's making, let's say, $5,000 a day, who's being flown out to 5-star hotels and restaurants and stuff like that. And we compare to that. I mean, comparison is a thief of joy. And that's what we do
It is, yeah.
in social media every day.
All the time.
And then that is what raises our anxiety and depression. And when we step back and we're like, oh, wait, I'm doing so much better than the majority of the world. Like, why am I comparing myself to someone who, one, might have worked hard, two, might have had an easy route
Sure.
to where he is in life?
Yeah.
And that is what's happening for especially a lot of girls. They're seeing girls that are like 25, when these girls are 16, that have big boobs and a big bum, and they want that. So girls at 17, 18 are getting...
Bing bun.
Bing
I
bun.
got a bing
So
bun.
girls at 17, 18...
This guy's going to get bashed.
So girls at 17, 18 are getting boob jobs.
Yeah.
Guys at 17, 18 are seeing Gymshark models who are just jacked. So they're getting on steroids, you know? So what's going to happen to these kids mentally when they're like 22, 23, 24, 25, when we're not fitting into some kind of status quo of like what they should look like.
Yeah.
So there's no
But again,
more uniqueness anymore.
We've literally spoken about this countless amount of times, us like personally. It's, social media is putting your best self forward every single day, and that's not what life is.
Yeah.
No, it's your highlight reel.
It's the highlight reel.
You every single day, you're not like, it's not every single day. Every single day is in, how's it going, guys? Hi, my name's Em, and I'm back here with a new video. How amazing is this? I just did like a collab. Like, no, that's not life. Like,
There's a bit of an Irish accent there slightly coming in.
Oh, it's fucking never. I'm now supposed to my time is there.
But like,
What did Nem just say?
But it just has like, I think it might be my Irish missus. I'm getting an Irish accent. But it's just not happening. Like when you compare yourself to something that's like perfect, you're always going to be the low
Disappointed.
part. Like you can't, you're never going to, compare yourself to perfection and you look in the mirror and go like, well, what the fuck? Like, okay, well, I'm worthless in like some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So that's, this is, going back to what the entire topic of this conversation was, technology is one of the best things that we've got right now, for sure. The tools that we're given right now are unreal. You can literally become an expert in a topic from like the age of, like, I looked up how to like make a song on Garage Hero. Not Garage Hero, GarageBand, sorry. And by the end of it, you can make a song. Like, this is just like like 2 videos, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then you make a song. If you're a kid that's 5 years old, anything in the world that you want to learn how to do, you can. And if you're willing to put in the time, the tools that you're given are unbelievable. You can literally become whatever you want to become with the use of it. But the emphasis on the entire thing is this one little negative part, whether it's again, comparing yourself to the 0.1%, or whether it's
a real problem.
breeding hate in the community because that fuels more interactions than like loving comments and stuff like that. you see it, and that's what I'm saying. Like social media, technology would be so much better if social media
But
wasn't.
there's-
I think, but there is an avenue obviously for
It's
social
too
media.
hard,
Like,
it's too
yeah,
difficult,
it's
yeah.
but it's not going away anyway.
It's not
Like,
going away.
I get you 100%. At the same time, like
it's not going anywhere.
there's
I know that.
the algorithms that are there that also pit people against each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's say
yeah.
you have a specific view, and the
Yeah.
algorithm goes, "I know what you like. I'm going to give you the people that you like. It's going to make you
and
even-
all the time,
all
and
the
no
time,
other thing, yeah.
and nothing else. So you're going to think everyone else is
Yeah.
not thinking of what you think.
You're in
Yeah.
a bubble. Yeah.
You're in a bubble. It's
Yeah.
just an echo chamber,
Mm.
and then you're going to hate your neighbor based on an opinion, which is ridiculous. I'm going to have an opinion different to you.
But no, but opinions have become like literally, I don't know, like something that you like live and die by to a point where like you believe it's so hard to your core
Of
that
course.
anybody that goes against it is like automatically the enemy. Like
Yeah.
you can have differing opinions about everything in the world. Like it doesn't matter what it is, whatever you believe in. I'm not going to judge you on that one belief, but that's what it's being pitted towards. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you believe this, I believe this, you're the devil. And you're just like, well, no, there's like a whole like in between spectrum. Like, okay, I believe in that and you believe in that, but we all both also believe in this one thing. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. There's like but that's not how it's being like portrayed.
Yeah.
Like, so now you're getting like, you're getting put into your certain category of person that you're in with. And now you have to agree with them. And you're just, and you get married to the ideas that these people have because they mirror yours in some way. And then you're just like locked into this perpetual state of just like, our way's the right way. And anybody who believes, and it's not like that because like, I think a lot of people's opinions aren't life or death. It's just an opinion that
Just
you
an
have.
opinion, yeah.
Nobody has to be an enemy to have a differing opinion to you. Like we disagree on stuff. What's your favorite Batman movie?
The first Batman.
Yeah, garbage. Garbage.
How
It's the
dare
dumbest
you.
call ever.
How
But
dare
anyway,
you.
I'm not going to just fucking now create a whole social media group saying
What
that.
an idiot.
Yeah,
An
Batman
absolute
1 is the worst movie ever made. And now me and him are never going to be fucking friends because his favorite Batman movie out of the trilogy is 1. So,
Blown out.
yeah, it's just blown out to, and like, yeah, you might have like political views that lead a certain way. That's fine, but I'm sure there's stuff in the middle that everybody can agree on. There doesn't have to be, but it's forced upon you.
The thing,
the way it
the thing is, there is no gray area. It's either black or white.
Black or white, yeah.
And it's two military groups. It's either the left or the right. You're in this box or that box. And anything in the gray area, if you're in the gray area, you're like, oh, I think this, well, I think that. And then either side is
But
saying,
like Joe Rogan
you
says,
either choose
90% of
me-
us are in the grey.
Yeah.
90% of us are in the grey, but the issue with being in the grey is you're an enemy to both. Of
course.
So you just shut your mouth.
Yeah. You can't really voice your
And if
opinion.
somebody asks, you're kind of just like, yeah, I believe what you believe. And then somebody else, you go to the other group and they're like, oh,
Sure.
how do you
Yeah.
believe? Oh, yeah, I believe what you
And,
believe.
and that comes down to the fact that I see these days that not many people are themselves. Not many people are very, they're not brave to believe in their own decisions and in their ideologies. So they're like, well, what do you like? And what do you think is cool? And what do the majority think is cool? I don't want to feel, and this is going into millions of years of evolution, of we don't want to be the outcast.
You don't want to be the outsider. Yeah,
So you wanna
outsider is
be
always
part of
like,
the
yeah.
tribe.
Conform.
So what do you think is cool? I'm going to conform to that. Even deep down, I don't think that.
Yeah.
But then for how long do you hold that? You just lose a sense of self.
Tiptoe around everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather you not like me or hate me, but I'm like, you know what? This is what I believe in. This is what I think, and that's it. At the end of the day, I don't want 600 acquaintances or 500 acquaintances like, oh yeah, Sin thinks this, so I'm going to be his
He's
friend.
a part of our
At the
tribe.
end of the day, if I don't like this and you don't like me for that, because at the end of the day, no matter how nice you are and who you find as a match, you're going to disagree. That's just how
Everyone,
it is.
and I told you, we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that you say that I'm like, you're
No
talking
way.
shit, and you agree with it. And there's stuff you say that I'm like, that's
It's all
just
subjective
such
opinions.
bullshit.
That's all.
And-
Nothing's objective. Nothing's
And there's some
objective.
stuff you say that I'm like,
Bullshit.
you fucking
Idiot.
idiot. You're such a dumb fucking idiot. Fuck. I'm joking. That's
But I'm
just,
still here.
But we've been friends for multiple years, and,
And that's what makes
never
us
going to
friends.
change. And that's
Because
exactly
if
right.
you are an open-minded person, you grow as a person by understanding someone else's opinion and belief. Because sometimes I might be so set in stone with what I believe in, and you might be like, well, have you thought about this? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you're right. I've never.
But
thought
again,
about
I
that
Never
agree.
thought
I
of it that
agree
way.
that that's 90% of the people. But but it's hard because nobody's going to stick their neck out. So you're kind of going to like the people that are in the middle. You suss out your field and you go to like say you go to a party and they're majority in one like fucking frame of thought. And you get there and they ask your opinion. You kind of like blend into that. And you just be like, yeah, I kind of believe,
Chameleon.
yeah.
Well,
And then you go to this one. Like it's very, very hard for you. Like, and that's what 95% of people do.
it's the same as Wikipedia, for example. Like 95% of what's done on Wikipedia is done by like 10% of people.
Yeah.
One guy does like 60 edits a day.
Yeah.
Like all he does is just edit.
Controlling that.
Or Reddit. The majority of Reddit is done by like 5% of people. They post. Everyone else is just a lurker. It's like, okay, this person's saying this person's saying. So you're seeing this divide of people, but the majority of people is like, I don't know. I'm just in the middle. Everyone's like, well, you're either on my side or you're on that side. They're fucking in between.
So final vote. What do you reckon? Social media, in or out?
In, I think.
And I disagree with you.
Look,
and I will never be your
dude.
friend.
Look,
and this is the last podcast I'm a part of.
If I'm being honest, I think social media should be out. I
just think there should be certain aspects of social media out.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be out.
I think
There's ways for it to be
It's one of
brilliant.
those things. Like if it's in, it's very difficult to control the things that you would like out. So I'd personally say it'd be good to have it out. But I think in the current day and age, what we have right now, it's gonna have to stay. Like unrestricted, obviously there's a lot of bad to that, but when it comes down to parents and how the way you educate your kids, but
It's
it also
so
comes
hard,
down
but
to,
it's-
it also comes down to teachers as well. Teachers right now,
It doesn't
these
matter.
days,
It's
come down to a lot of
kids.
things. No.
It's going to come like, so you're going to teach your kid to do one thing and you might have blockers on their phone, which you can do now. And then they're going to go to school and their friend whose parents don't really give a shit, they're not going to have blockers on their phone. And they're going to be like, have you seen this? And they're going to be exposed to this kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to have like a blanket shutdown and be like, well, it's on the parent. It is on the parents. I agree. But like, you kind of have to, that's where it's hard. Like, every single parent has to agree to a certain, and we just said it like before, everybody has differing opinions of how to like raise children and what they think is right and what they think is wrong. So like what I think is right and what somebody else thinks is right can be completely different, but those kids are going to be going to the same school.
Yeah.
So now those kids are going to be influencing your kids and your kids are going to be influencing them. And then they're going to go home and then, and this is what I'm saying. It's hard. Like a lot of parenting has been taken, not a lot, but a bit of parenting has been taken out of like a parent's hands where like, again, teachers have a massive influence. Other students have a massive influence. So your kids are going to be going into high school, primary school is pretty much a free for all. Like everybody's got differing opinions. Everybody's trying to figure out the world. They're all young.
And you need that as well.
You
There's
do
an
need
argument
that.
to be made about
I
that you
agree.
need that,
But this is what I'm saying. But there's stuff that are detrimental that can like get you to a point where it's really, really hard to get their mindset out. If like three of their best friends thinks that's cool and you disagree with that kind of thing, how do you then parent that out without being like a dick about it? And if you're like strongly against something that these kids are doing and their parents don't really give a shit about, or vice versa, that's what I'm saying. It's hard.
It's a real
I've been thinking about this a lot, obviously, because I'm 2 months away from having a kid, and like these kind of things always like pop into your head, and like so for the last ever since like I found out I was pregnant, like I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. To not be like
You're pregnant, dude?
Pregnant? I thought you were just fat.
I'm never gonna be your friend. But like
self-image
ruined.
This guy's a piece of shit.
Put it on Instagram.
You just spend 45 minutes explaining how social media is garbage because
Detrimental.
of this, and then you just come straight at me with that.
That's
What
what
a
you
piece
get
of
for
shit.
calling me a gay metaverse.
I never called you. You called yourself that. That's what you called
Hi, I'm
yourself.
Sid.
But yeah, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, you can set as many plans up as you want.
It's a tough
but
one.
you
I
know-
don't
That's
think-
why everyone's
yeah.
homeschooling, man.
Oh, thank you.
If you look in the US,
Yeah.
if you look at the US, that's why everyone's taking the kids out of schools and homeschool. But at the same time,
But you can't
when
do
you
that because
homeschool, there's things that kids miss out as
You
well.
miss out on
You need
so
to be
much.
around kids.
So much.
Obviously, you got homeschools that are small groups of people, other kids are there as well. But you miss out a lot
You do.
because sometimes, as a child, you need to see different opinions.
For sure.
So
I agree.
There's pros and
100.
cons to both things.
But there's opinions that you can gauge on things that aren't as like detriment. Like again, I think that one of the biggest things in the world that's like terrible for like kids is porn. So like, okay, like if their dad says that Carlton's the best team, like, let's go more universal. Their dad goes for Manchester and I go for Liverpool. And then the kid tells my kid, Manchester's the best team. Like, no, my dad thinks Liverpool is. And then she says, oh, well, Manchester have more titles. And then she comes home and goes, oh, is Manchester better than Liverpool? I'll be like, no, we believe this. That's something you can work around. But when like you go to school and you're like, okay, we're trying to like eliminate this one thing. And then you go to school and then like somebody's showing them like these videos. And that changes a child's mental state forever. Like it was something that should be pushed back so far that they're introduced to at an extremely young age. So then that's
You can't
something
control it.
when they, I know you can't control it. This is what I'm saying. This is the balance that I'm saying that's difficult. That's what I'm not. There's nothing you can do. It is what it is.
Your mum didn't want you to watching porn. You watched the fuck ton of porn.
I did not watch any porn up until I was
porn.
27.
I don't know what
Mom,
porn
if you're
is.
listening-
You just talked about
What is porn?
digital.
I have no idea what porn is.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's
It's a tough.
it's going to be
it's a tough
interesting.
problem.
It's just going to be, and this is just all stemming back to where technology is. It is a great asset, but it is also a great detriment.
double-edged sword.
Well, think about yourself.
hard to beat.
At the age you are now and at what age you started watching porn, think about the effect it had on your brain. Like I started watching porn maybe like 14, 15. I have no idea. And then like as you get older, you watch less and less, but it's had an effect on your brain.
For sure.
Unless you've been fresh, not watching porn at all, or not doing drugs, or not smoking weed or drinking alcohol. But these kids are watching it at like 9, 10. They're watching like gangbangs at 9, 10.
Where's this information? Where's this research coming from?
Digital JPEG images loading over 35 minutes.
So gangbangs.
Jesus Christ.
And
I'm just going to
4K.
grab a water. I'll leave you boys to
Kids are
discuss.
watching gangbangs at the moment.
No, but it's there's a lot of studies out that kids these days they don't understand what normal missionary and normal porn is because all they're seeing is
Good
like,
old
all
missionary.
they're seeing is gonzo porn and seeing like anal porn and seeing like
Where's this information coming from, dude?
cut that.
Cut that.
Gonzo porn. Out of everything, I've never heard of that shit.
Where's this coming from?
Bro, kids don't know what missionary is. They just watch Gonzo porn. What? I'm sure a lot of the viewers are going to fucking Google that shit straight after this. Like,
What the hell is gonzo porn?
what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh fuck.
Where are all these thoughts,
What's
these
missionary?
ideas?
That's Gonzo porn. I'm trying to just imagine what the fuck that is. I have no idea where you can go with that information.
You're an idiot.
Jesus Christ.
You guys should go to the toilet.
I'm gonna hit the toilet.
I'm gonna go with some
think
gonzo
about-
porn.
And on that
No,
note, I
what?
think-
And
And
he
on
walks
that note,
away in shame.
Yeah, just gonna go watch some Gonzo porn. Jesus, what is Gonzo porn? Have you ever heard of this?
No, what's he talking about?
Oh God,
He's stuck in
I have
there.
no idea what's
I'm
happening.
scared to click on Gonzo
Don't
porn.
just do it, man. Like the FBI might swarm your house.
Swarmer.
Have you got a VPN?
It's like these gangbangs. All, image search showing these gangbangs everywhere.
Have you? Yeah,
Oh
maybe.
God,
Maybe do a VPN and like make your guy somebody in like I don't know
somewhere else.
somewhere
different
else because
country.
you don't want like you don't want that's your work laptop as well. Your boss.
Yeah.
Your boss is going to ask you on Monday.
Yeah, Sin. Over the weekend, we got an alert.
That was the. I don't know where that came from.
Where's all this
It was
information
so
coming?
innocent, and then he just comes out with something like that.
What do
Crazy.
you think is wrong with him?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to judge. It's hard to judge.
So
Look.
Gonzo porn is a style of pornographic film that attempts to place the viewer directly into the scene.
What do you mean directly into the scene?
I don't know. Directly into
Look
the
at him
scene.
shamefully opening the door.
Yeah, directly into the scene. I think that was our
Other
intruders
housemate.
coming in. Yeah, I don't know where he gets his stuff from.
I don't mean either, but I've never heard in my whole entire life that was and how we went from like the most simple to just like
Fucked up.
I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I wasn't even thinking. Now that's another thing for me to worry about with
worry
my, with
about.
my
God damn
kid.
it.
Yeah, that's another thing I have to worry about and
I
think
didn't
about.
need that. I didn't need that.
That's crazy.
Have you watched The Whale?
What did you think about Brendan Fraser's
Brendan
performance?
Fraser in The Whale.
I haven't yet. I'm waiting for it to come out on Rent so I can give it a view. But no, I haven't. I think out of the Oscar movies, what did I see? I saw Maverick, Avatar, Everything Everywhere. What else was there? Inisherin
Inisherin and Banshees.
and
You haven't seen The Fablemans.
no, I haven't seen The Fablemans.
It was okay.
I'm still gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch all of them. I want to watch Tar.
Tar was really good.
Yeah,
I like Tar.
the concept sounds pretty cool. Didn't watch it, but I'll definitely jump on that. But out of the lot, I think yeah, Everything Everywhere was a deserved winner. I think it was just it was a cool concept done really
Very
well.
cool.
But yeah, deserved. I can't really. Yeah, we watched the entire thing, and every
great.
time they announced the winner,
Winner.
the winner is.
Winner.
That's my accent coming out. We kind of just be like, yeah, that makes sense. So it was.
I liked it. It was pretty, where I thought it would land, I think.
We're trying to bring it back. We're trying
So
to come
about
back
the
from that
Metaverse.
bombshell. Trying to come back from that
And what
bombshell that
what
just got
porn's
dropped.
being consumed out
Oh
there
my
at the
god,
moment.
man! Oh my god!
It's really hard to segue.
Oh, I know. How do you? Yeah, I just feel weird
from
talking about it.
where we landed just
left
before.
off. My god!
He's coughing in there as well.
Oh god, I know.
Hey, you shut up in there.
Yeah. Oh god, but
It's.
But yeah, you've seen
it's a tough
Whale,
one. Yeah,
Frasier.
I liked it.
Happy with the Oscar?
It's very good. Very happy with Brendan coming back.
I haven't
winning
seen it, but I was
Yeah.
just happy that he got it.
So
And-
happy for him. I grew up watching his films.
Yeah, I know. Same.
Yeah.
And
Good old Brendan.
yeah, George
Good
of the
for him.
Jungle, man. That was
George
on
the
Channel
Jungle
7
too.
all the time, and you just sit there, and it was just so much fun to
Man, how
watch.
handsome was he back in the day?
Yeah.
What?
Here we go again.
Yeah, he was there.
He
He
was
is
young
again.
and hot. That's,
Young and
that's
hot.
the one thing.
Anyone
Whether it's
young
Ali,
and hot.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, when he was 15.
God.
God damn.
Cut that,
Cut it
cut
out.
that, cut that, cut that.
We literally need to cut out all of the fucking violence
Why
and
is it under
underage.
podcast?
So much was cut out.
Oh,
Well, look, there's been a lot of interesting topics.
I think we've covered.
I think we covered a lot.
I don't even know where the hell. If there's another one of these, which I highly doubt there
I
is.
doubt after
I don't think
this.
any of us will be allowed on social media tomorrow.
But you know what? I did like going off script with you guys.
It was interesting, definitely.
Yeah.
I learnt a lot.
I learned a lot. We covered a few things that are probably some are movie related, others definitely not.
Yeah, majority not.
Which I liked. It
It was fun. It was fun delving into other topics, and
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just three boys who have opinions.
couple of
Don't
guys.
kill us. Yeah, don't disagree so heavily that
We're
you
nice
hate us from this
guys.
point.
We're
We're just
nice
a couple of friends having a chat, sharing opinions.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was good.
Maybe we'll go around and just final thoughts on anything we spoke about. Challenge?
If you guys are ever on the Metaverse, I will have a storefront.
Look up SCBJs.
And I'm really good at my job. And for the next 24 hours, you get 50% off. Just say scperformance
.com.
and you get 50% off.
There we
I'm
go.
ready.
It's gonna be great.
I can't see.
Box parties included.
Yeah, that's an offer I don't think many can refuse.
No many final thoughts on
Final thoughts. I think Quentin Tarantino should call it a 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Fair.
do 10, and as long as his last one is just as good as all his previous ones, which I just don't see a reason why not, call it a 10 and just go out an absolute legend. What a way to go out. End it on a high.
I like that. I just want to say Brendan Fraser was amazing in The Whale. And if you are in the Metaverse, they dropped a new Peaky Blinders game. So check it out. And it looks pretty good. Your face is lighting up.
Mm.
Someone's interested to jump right back in there.
Yeah, he's ready to
Wow.
go.
Test the field a little bit. 80 hands.
Sounds good.
Bring my modern skills to the old times. Am I right?
Am I right? Oh, am I right? Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Check out the Fine Film Podcast. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe
Please
button.
don't cancel it. We're just
Don't
having
cancel
fun.
us.
We were just, come on.
We're just having.
I know, drop
having
some
a
comments.
laugh.
Yeah, talk some shit. That's what we're about.
We're here.
Nobody here lives and dies by their opinions. If somebody has a better opinion than us, drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments. Yeah.
And
You
we
guys
will
are
delete
idiots.
you from
Blocked
the Discord.
immediately.
You'll be blocked and deleted immediately.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Bye.